Good evening, everyone. I'm RxOliver, and these are my friends. And tonight we're playing Coriolis, the Great Dark. This is the Flowers of Algorab, session 11. Here with the two Daves and Max, and our games master Brian. You can take it away, sir.
Okay, sorry, I had to clean my glasses real quick. Ship City is dying. What comes after? Ask 100 different residents of Ship City and you'll get 100 different answers. Some will whisper of joining the ladies' court, while others will claim that we will walk among the builders. Some even believe that we will dance in the fires of the first and last star for eternity. But most seem to agree that for the living, where the dead are concerned, all that is left is remembrance and penance. We who yet live suffer the burden of speaking for the dead, and if necessary, of making things right. All as a promise kept, so that in the future, the living will look after us in kind. There are some, though, rare as they may be, that the living believe that the living have no debt to the dead. Necropoli and funerary practices, rituals and memento mori aside, they're just a shroud to lessen the blow of the true cost of living. Guilt. Ship City is dying, and we have brought this about ourselves. Some believe there is no hope. And so, we finished last session, roughly. Some of you may have watched the last session. In the interim, I didn't. But as I recall, we finished the last session with going to the surface to investigate the Ramda Obelisk. You dealt with an ambush from Davudan and managed to, as David put it before we started recording, execute him for his crimes. So Davudan is no longer a factor in your lives.
We found.
So,
I remember.
So it seems. Go ahead.
I remember that we looked over his body and he was tainted by the blight.
It was changed
And
by
we
blood.
Yes.
Yeah. And we contacted
Changed,
we contacted a certain group to grab his body, and we get information from them to give to, I think it was David's leader that she requested.
Correct.
First servant
Nima.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the navigators who were going to take care of Davudan's body,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that no blight entered, or in this case, re-entered the city. You did figure out how to work the Ramda Obelisk, which wasn't terribly difficult. You seated the tablet that you have in the appropriate place and received a hollow projection, which I will display for you again now.
Nice.
Of the two builder glyphs, which, wow, I forgot which one of them they are off the top of my head. One is Dolum, the glyph of destruction. Yeah, I think you're right, Max. And the other one is, in fact, yes, the glyph of life, Ishra. Now, what we didn't really discuss in the last session that I recall, I may be wrong, but I think I forgot to bring this up. It's interesting that the projection shows you the two glyphs, because what all of you would know as explorers, even of less experience perhaps, you've been on a few delves, you know that delves usually are marked and associated with certain glyphs. And those glyphs, as we understand them, contain some information about the delve itself. So this builder ruin is in some way associated with both life and death.
Destruction. Was it life and
destruction?
Death? Life and destruction.
So the destruction glyph is also represents blight, death, and annihilation. But it's generally called the glyph of destruction. So yeah, you might want to keep that in mind. So you figured out where it is, and based on that hollow projection, you were able to determine that it indicates that the Builder Ruin is under the City of the Dead, in the middle of Ship City, in fact, directly beneath the Well of Souls.
Right in the middle of the rock.
Yeah, it's that big circle thing.
So you then returned. I don't know that we had necessarily role played through like your full return, but I think the assumption is you returned the way you came, back through the inner sanctum.
Through the inner sanctum, yeah.
But packed up all of your restricted gear.
We hadn't yet left the inner sanctum because I'd said I wished to go and speak to First Servant Kerr.
First Servant Nima, Kerr's deed.
First Servant
Nima. Sorry, First Servant Nima, because
good luck speaking to Kerr.
Davudon is no more, and I need to return his mask to her.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So we can start with that. But then there was also some discussion about what you might do next. But we can just go in right with that. So
my new invisibility cloak.
Yeah, the one you decide. You could always give it to Dave, and Dave's like, "Nah,
I wear.
I want invisibility cloak.
What if he falls asleep and is like, "Where's my cloak?"
Did I make you the item for that? Do you guys have that?
I don't remember.
I don't think you did.
It's been 4 weeks, don't it? I've played 40,000 games in between.
I think we put it on the.
Is it in? Is it like the?
Yeah. Oh no, that's exquisite clothing. I thought it was on the. I thought we put it in the.
Well, I'll figure it out if it comes up. I will tell you
right
right off the bat, it's probably not going to come into play if you get to the Delve today, which I'm projecting you will.
Very good. I shall.
No, it's not on my sheet.
Nima, so okay,
I'll
figure it out.
Go
I'll
and
make a note
speak
for myself.
I shall go and speak to First Servant Nima, if that is acceptable.
Yeah.
I shall take along Davidon's mask and politely request an audience.
Would you like us to accompany, or are you going alone?
No.
Okay.
This is internal matters.
Sure.
This is internal. So
this is
what are the rest of you
Coriolis
doing
stuff,
then?
right?
Yes. Coriolis.
What are the rest of you doing then, so that I can start thinking about that?
Well, I asked them to wait for me to return because I need to escort them out of the inner sanctum. I mean, we can't have them wandering around.
There was a tea area, right? There was like a little restaurant we can go to that was.
Well, there is. Yeah, I mean, you guys can find like a tea house or a restaurant.
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody was down by Hearts or the other. Yeah, anybody by the Hearts or the other thing.
I was going to say the rest.
I don't project this taking an entire shift. This conversation, so I don't think we're going to do rests quite yet. You will have an opportunity to do so, but for right now, let's just deal with the meeting with First Servant Nima. You find an appropriate place for them to wait. The three of you will notice, though, while you are waiting, nobody is being overt about it, but you essentially have an escort of at least 2 guards that are in the same location that you are, whether it's a tea house or a restaurant or something like that, where you've been set up with a place to, take a pause while Osric has his conversation.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but weapons have been peace bonded in the airlock.
No,
they were smuggling them.
Yeah,
they're crated, and the crates are peace bonded. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Good.
Plus, with that neutral we got from that one guy, that new sniper rifle, I believe somebody took.
The coiler, yeah.
Oh yeah, did we get that onto somebody's sheet? Don't even know.
I assume so, because that has an item.
I've definitely not got it.
Okay, well we can deal with that before we get into deeper stuff. But
at the present moment, it's in the crates. Anyway,
that's 2 items we'll worry about later.
I shall go and see First Servant Nima and thank her for the access to the surface, and I will explain that unfortunately, while we were on this mission, there was an attack by Davudon on the hull guards, and I can't honestly remember whether it was 1 or 2 Hull Guards were killed, but
One.
It was one.
Yeah, I believe
one
so,
Hull
yeah.
Guard was killed, and sadly we were forced to deal with Davudon, and I hereby return his mask to the first servant as evidence. Sadly, it was found that his body was infected with blight, and the Navigators Guild had to be called to deal with it, first servant.
Did you
so-
have to involve the Navigators Guild?
Unfortunately, the Hull Guards were aware that his body was infested with blight, and I did not feel that we could bring him back in here ourselves without dealing with the other Hull Guards.
No, very well. If the Hull Guards were present, there was no way around it then.
I'm uncertain as to what access the Coriolites have in terms of calming this matter down, but certainly one of my colleagues has contacts in the Hellguards Guild who could possibly facilitate any dealings to minimize problems caused by the unfortunate death of one of their number.
Well, and I believe, if I recall correctly, one of you, it may have even been you, David, gave a not insignificant sum of ruck to the guards.
We did,
Yes.
Mhm.
But the thing is
So-
that might help, but the Coriolites
Sure.
themselves have to deal with this. So I'm just offering that to her. I don't know what the Coriolites themselves obviously have
Yeah.
political connections with the Navigators and the
Yes.
the other guilds, but
Well,
I'm
there
just
are
offering...
Coriolites in every guild.
Yes.
Because again, the Coriolites are not a guild; they're more just like a culture, or a religion is a hard.
No, it's a
Association,
more
but it's similar,
purposeful
yeah.
way of life
Yeah.
than most of
Yeah.
the people on Shift Ship City.
Correct.
So anyway, I've passed over Davidon's mask, which is confirmation that he's no longer with us. I've explained the situation and alerted her to the fact that there may be political maneuverings need to be done, and thanked her for the assistance that she gave us. Sadly, we haven't found anything further to connect things to the death of First Servant Kerr, but given the evidence that was on site in his chambers, I'm hoping that his murderer has been brought to book.
I tend to agree with you, Mir Mabo. I think the matter of Davudon is closed. I think it's fairly obvious that he was the perpetrator of First Servant Kerr's death. Obviously, I will keep lanes of investigation open, and if you learn anything else, by all means, we will include that information in the records of what has occurred. As far as why, I have nothing else to give you except for the fact that it's known, because I've done some digging of my own now, it's known that Davudon only worked for Coriolites.
Yes. So
As
although
he would not work for anyone else, he thought everyone else, as many of us do, unfortunately, not myself, but he thought that anyone who was not Coriolite was beneath him. So he wouldn't deign to work with anyone other than our own.
So difficulty being that we may have dealt with the hand, but we do not know the brain behind it.
Correct.
Well, we shall continue looking into matters and seeing whether there is any other link we can find First Servant, and I am, of course, always at your service.
Very well. Did you find out anything about this tablet that First Servant Kerr has notes on?
There was no sign of it on Davudon's body. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe we've let her know that we have it, have we?
You haven't, no.
Exactly. So I shall just tell her there was no sign of it on Davudon's body.
So not a lie. Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we shall continue our investigations and keep her informed.
Well, I think I'm definitely going to call that intrigue for David today, okay? Lying to one of the higher-ups in his association.
Lie by omission.
Was that was Nima he's lying to? That's the First Servant. That's the head of his guild.
To be fair, he didn't lie to her. He didn't.
He just didn't say it.
He said there was no sign of it on Davudon's body.
Yes.
But she has now made it clear to you that she is aware of the tablet. So, and certainly there's no issue. You are a Coriolite, but you're also an explorer. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, if she has nothing further for me, I shall return to my compatriots and lead them out of the inner sanctum.
She will say, for your service in dealing with Davudon, I would be willing to give you and your group a reward. He is a heinous criminal. He has been dealt with. Is there anything that you and your group would need or that we can provide to you?
I could need healing.
No, we want more than that, Max. You can
healing doesn't work like that.
You can sleep, Max. We want more than that.
Yeah.
I know it was just
medical items only come into play if you're broken, not.
I will thank her for her generosity, and I will consult with my colleagues and see if there is anything that I feel would be appropriate for them.
Very well. Send me a ticker. Obviously, there are limits to what I can provide, but within reason. I've spoken to the council, and the council is impressed with your group's actions. They also wish to extend a rare benefit to your companions in that they will be allowed entrance into the inner sanctum in the future. They are still not considered Coriolite, but they are able to travel amongst us if they have need.
I am overcome with their generosity and thank her repeatedly for the gift to my colleagues. And I know how much of an honor that is. And I shall then go and rejoin them.
Well, further she says, and I know that your current circumstances would be counter to this proposal, but should you ever be interested in the seat of second servant, you've only to let me know.
Ooh, nice.
I am indeed honored, mistress. And I will consider the matter properly.
Very well.
Very well.
Like a tear to my eye. Come on.
Way. I'm so proud of him.
He's sitting there like, ooh.
Okay, I shall return
He's
to
one
the
of
others.
our own. He's one of our own.
Escort them out of the inner sanctum.
Very well. Apparently the guards have received a message already because they disperse before you even get there, and the three of you find yourself just among the Coriolites without an obvious escort.
Ooh.
No one has said anything to you, but you also notice that perhaps the workers at the restaurant may have been informed because they are interacting with you directly now. You can't tell necessarily, but there is a feeling that they might be more accepting of your presence.
Okay.
That's good.
Nice.
Okay. I will suggest that we head straight for the Explorers Guild with this valuable information.
We'll see Muska.
Yes. We'll see
Okay.
Master Muska.
He's one of our own. The second servant is one of our own.
Well, he's not second
Not
servant
yet.
yet.
No, he's been
Not-
offered it.
not
though.
yet.
I'm proud. I'm so proud.
He can't. Basically what she was implying is he can't be.
I
If
can't
he
be an
wants-
explorer.
I've got to
and
leave the
second
Explorers
and
Guild.
second
Yeah,
servant.
yeah.
Hang on, I'm trying to.
Brian?
Why is my calendar not opening? Yeah, go ahead.
While we're the guys and we're going to see Master Muska, do I need to be there? I'm just wondering, because I could do with some leveling up. I'm just wondering if I could nip off and do that, or can we do that at some point?
So there's no
I
nip
appear
off quite
shocked
yet,
at this,
but we
this
will-
abandoning of your duty.
We will-
I'm
we can
talking
have
to the
discussion about it.
heavens.
No, he disappears. Like, hey, where did he go? I don't
He's
know.
doing a wee
They're off
prayer.
somewhere.
Why is my
Okay.
calendar app not working though?
We should roleplay it that anytime a player talks to the GM, their character's praying. Because you're talking to God.
Like the Assassin's
Oh, there we
Creed
go.
where you press
Okay.
select and he kneels down and the time shoots by. It's like,
Yeah.
Okay. Once
So that was about noon. So I think we'll stick on this watch for now, since you're traveling directly to the Explorers Guild, this shift rather. So yeah, as you travel to the Explorers Guild
okay.
with
when
the
the
crate. Oh,
yes,
go ahead.
with the crates. With the first time that we are not being observed by others, I will notify the team. I've told First Servant Nima about Davidon's death. B, they have been granted access to the inner sanctum, although they won't be considered Coriolites, but it is indeed an honour. And C, I did not notify First Servant Nima of the findings that we made. In fact, she still thinks we're looking for the tablet because she confirmed that Davudon only works for other Coriolites. And therefore, although he's dead, whoever was behind him is still alive.
Mhm.
And I have no proof it wasn't First Servant Nima.
So
It's unlikely. It's unlikely because we weren't ambushed on the way to the obelisk.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
We were
true.
ambushed there, but we weren't
Mm.
ambushed on the way. And since she knew we were getting access to the surface, if he was trying to stop us to getting to the obelisk, he would
Yeah.
have ambushed us on the way. So it's
And did
promising, but I don't have confirmation that it wasn't.
Well,
First Servant.
Good shout.
well,
Good
there's
shout.
another thing is that with the contact I contacted with the guild I was a part of, do you think there might have been a Coilite or somebody of that connected with that?
They might have got the information from there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, again,
can't tell.
it is important to keep in mind Coriolites are in every guild. I mean, obviously Osric, but there are other Coriolites in the Explorers Guild.
It's not me, please. It's not me. I'm not
There-
behind that.
We don't,
Right.
we don't know that.
It's
There
like, how
are
do we trust you?
Coriolites
I'm
in
wounded.
the Navigators Guild. Yeah. I guess the easiest way to think of Coriolites is they're
Like a
just,
religious group.
if you think, well, they're not. It's not religious.
I know it's not
necessarily,
religious,
although
but
they do revere the old ways. But
if you
I would say
consider
it's
them,
more like
they're the same race of people, but they've got different beliefs and different traditions, and they view themselves as different
it's
from other
like
people.
the difference between Americans and South Americans, or whatever, people from the States and people from England. There are some differences. Same people, different
Mhm.
culture, right? That's all it
Mhm.
is. And odd to some people at first, right? Because the Coriolite culture is very specific, and I think you put it very well, Dave. It's very intentional in a lot
It's
of ways.
ordered, yes.
Yeah, it's ordered.
We don't like the general chaos of Ship City. We prefer things are the way they are.
And it is interesting that you say that, because you all, I mean, Osric would already know, but you all would have noticed in your limited
Mormons.
time you've spent in the inner sanctum that it is quieter there. It's quieter. It's more clean, just in general. It's there's just as many
Uniformal?
people. Yeah, I mean, people are generally more formal with each other.
Houses are made of wood, there's horses. Yous are Mormons. I get it.
I don't know.
I love that leap. I
love that leap.
It's
Like the closest, honestly, the closest real world culture.
Think of us as
in terms
Canadians,
of, like, maintaining
all right,
things.
as opposed to Americans. We're Canadians.
I was going to say
Americans.
Egyptian, because they have very strong ties to their ancient religious
ancient
cultures.
culture, yeah, right, okay, yeah.
They're the Coriolites are generally the only people left on Ship City that, not all of them do, but some of them still revere the icons, which are the deity-like beings from the last horizon, right? Everybody else has kind of given up the icons. Icon worship is almost non-existent, but Coriolites still revere them.
Well,
And if you ever want me to, David, I can provide you with a list of the icons and short descriptions if you want to include that in your roleplay. Or you could be a Coriolite who's more progressive and not engaged in that kind of icon worship.
He's non-practicing.
It makes sense to follow the icons. Just, I mean, it's no problem if we're wrong, but if we're right, it's just as well.
There are, and Osric would even know, like, there are stories from the last horizon that indicate that worship of the icons had power. Like, to put it in game terms, because I think Oliver, you've played it, but I don't think everybody else has played the last edition of Coriolis. In the last edition of Coriolis, you could actually pray to the icons, and that would let you make rerolls, and sometimes there are abilities that you could gain access to, but that doesn't exist here. Their reach doesn't extend into the Lost Horizon. So obviously not omnipresent or omnipotent, but interesting. But they would indicate that they're just not here, as opposed to them having some sort of level of presence in the Last Horizon. Anyway.
So I've explained that to the others, and then I probably looked the other way and turned around, and one of the members of the party suddenly vanished. Maybe.
Where did Dave go?
Anyway, so we are heading for the Explorers Guild.
Yeah.
So these crates.
You've got your crates, and assuming you're holding your badges, or not holding, but expressing, you have them visible.
Velcro them back on.
Yeah, people are not generally going to be interfering with you. I mean, you could be, delivering supplies, you could be delivering artifacts for the guild. Obviously, when you left the sanctum, the peace bonding technology was removed by the guards. But assumingly, you're keeping your crates closed, so nobody can see all the weapons.
Can I put seals on them and consignment notes to the Explorers Guild? Just trying to think of some way.
Where
if
would
we
you
run
get
into
such?
problems, I will quietly check.
I mean, if
with
it were,
okay,
if it were the
can
beginning
I
of the
ask
previous
the
day and you
guards,
planned that, then maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On leaving, can I speak to the guards and see if I can acquire?
Tell you what,
such?
we'll backtrack a little bit. It would have made more sense for you to get things along those lines when you were in the offices of First Servant Nima.
First Servant Nima, yep.
So, and that's a trifle for her to provide to you. Yeah.
Okay, it's to try and avoid any problems with the Zapti on the way.
Sure.
If they're consigned to the Explorers Guild, they would have to break those seals.
And she obviously understands the law of the chasm and things like that. So yeah, she is more than happy to help you. In fact, she gives you her own seal and sets it up so that it is apparent that you are making a delivery to the Explorers Guild from the Coriolites, right? So now the Zapti are even less likely to interfere with it.
Okay, I am very grateful.
And she quickly drafts a letter as well, so that you can have it if they ask for any papers, you can pull it out. It is from First Servant Nima. For all intents and purposes, it is up and up. And in fact, not a lie, because you are delivering the package to explorers. You yourselves are explorers.
Yep.
So you are,
delivering the package from Coriolites, him, to explorers, him.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I'm delivering it to myself. Nice.
Okay, well, I'm trying
and
to.
It's nebulous about where it's being delivered to. So if you need to say that it's we're delivering it to our shuttle, then you got it.
Okay, in that case, off to the explorers.
Right.
Yep.
So it does take a while. Obviously, I mean, Ship City is quite large. But after some time, you work your way into the chasm and down to, I believe it's Fourth Ring, the Vermilion House. I'm just going to say it's Fourth Ring. And you get into the Vermilion House. Again, it's daytime, so there's a bit more activity. But the Explorers Guild is never quite as fully active as some of the other guilds, because obviously teams of explorers go out and they explore. So there are, the guild attendants and things like that, but there's probably at any given time only 2 or 3 other crews that are on Ship City, and then whether or not they're even at the guild house is questionable. But as always, Muska's office door is open.
What part of the city is the Explorers Guild in?
It's in the chasm, so it would be
number 2 on the map.
Fourth ring. Yes, number 2. It would be Fourth Ring, right? Keep in mind there are 6 rings in the chasm, so it's Fourth Ring.
Do they count from the bottom up?
It is from the bottom up.
Yeah,
so one is
about here.
One is the lowest. One is the haze, essentially.
Yeah.
And then, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4 around here.
Oh, I mean, I'm not looking at the map, but yeah, probably.
You're not. Sorry, yeah.
Well, now why can't I get to the map? Oh, because I've got a weird selection on. So, actually, if you're looking at if I go to 2 here, if you're looking at the chasm map.
Yep.
The chasm, picture it this way: the map the picture that we have for the chasm is only like the top 3 levels. The one we have for the haze is the bottom 3, right? So you would be at the lowest level of the chasm.
This one.
Picture.
Yeah. Cool.
And again, it's called the Vermilion House. As most guild houses, it has a name. But yeah, Master Muska is in her study. She is taking tea. Are you going to walk right in?
Am I right in thinking Master Muska is not a Coriolite?
She's not.
She is not. No.
No.
Good.
I think she was an explorer, at least something, before she became an explorer, I guess. I can't remember.
I'd need to look into her history more, but she's not a Coriolite. She would definitely have been a guilder of some type. I would imagine probably a navigator, because she did a lot of traveling. But that currently is unclear. Not a Coriolite, though.
We're just going straight into our office.
Yeah, I'll knock on the door.
You know her,
as
she's
we
got an
enter,
open door
sort of
policy.
thing.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
We'll just go in and see her then.
Well,
What time of day is it?
I shall keep quiet and let Edris tell her what's happened.
It's
afternoon.
noon to 6, somewhere in there. We're in the afternoon shift.
Good afternoon, Master Muska. How's your day going?
Oh, quite well. Would you all like some tea? I've just brewed some.
Please. Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
So she
I
pours
stand-
each of you out a cup
I stand near the
after
door.
getting cups from the sideboard. Oh, you're
I'm
standing near the door?
really.
Oh yeah, somebody comes in, I'm walking out. So I was like, yeah, this is sitting there like, just just leaning back. I'm like, thank you, Loki.
I'm subconsciously like chinking the little spoon off the cup back and forward, like whirling it round in circles, not even noticing how annoying it is. Ding ding ding
Sure.
ding 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 ding.
She does look at you.
Oh,
As
sorry,
we all
sorry,
do.
sorry.
Are you all right, Oziel?
Yeah, sorry. I fidget. Sorry, I can't help it.
Could I just ask, Master, how often is the guild building scanned for blight?
Well, I mean, not often. There should be no blight on Ship City.
Would
Are
mind
you
if
saying I
just-
should?
I believe it would possibly be wise based on what we found.
So she looks over at Arak, who is perched on his, thing. I don't know what you would call a bird perch. I guess a bird perch. And yeah,
That's pretty much.
so she looks over in his direction, and he spreads his wings, and his eyes glow red. And none of you see it, but maybe you can feel kind of a wave of the scan of the Garuda just come off of him. And then she turns back and looks at you, and you'll note, interestingly enough, she's not using a Garuda device.
I'd noticed, yes.
She just talks straight to it, like.
And she says, Arak says the building is clear. That's about the extent of his range, though.
Good.
Good.
If persons or items within the building had some taint of blight, then he would have picked it up.
Well, there are ways to disguise it. But a
Understood.
general blight that is not being intentionally disguised, he would have detected, yes.
Well, Edris will tell you the sad tale of what we found with regard to blight, mistress.
Yeah,
Sorry,
look at
Master.
Edris and give him a thumbs up.
Not so eloquently as my learned friend here, but we found the assassin Davidon, or we say he found us. We made our way to the surface, and we went to investigate the obelisk, and we were fired upon. Lives were lost. Our life was lost, at least, but we managed to subdue and take him out. And
Take him
Yeah,
out.
so-
Is he imprisoned?
no,
No, I
quite.
put the Algorab's character. He shot him. He killed him.
Oh.
He just,
I didn't shoot him.
No, it was me. I killed him.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
Algorab, like,
he killed he killed one of the what I've forgotten the name of the guards.
The Hull
The Hull
Guards.
Guards.
Hull
one of
guards.
the Hull
He,
guards.
he killed one of the Hull guards, so his body has been taken by the Navigation Guild because he seemed to have been changed by blight.
Well, that happens to people sometimes. It's
Yeah.
concerning
was
that
also-
he's been on
he-
Ship City.
Not only that, he was working for, and Osric, correct me if I'm wrong, for someone in the Coriolites. Not for the Coriolites.
It only works for
He can be
Coriolites, so whoever it was
He
working
He
only
for
only
hires
was
works
a
for
Coriolite.
Coriolites, yes.
So he's working for a Coriolite.
So we Master, we do not know who he was working for, but he himself is no longer around. He did employ what appeared to be blight spiders in attacking us,
Yeah, little drone things.
We've
Little-
encountered them a
little
couple
annoying
of
buggers.
times.
and when his body did have a number of blight-infused marbles, which we think were spiders,
His
which
eyes.
Ashes has dealt with. But most concerning was we were able to activate the Obelisk, Master, and it showed the location of the delve with two icons. Sorry, not icons.
Glyphs.
Glyphs. Destruction and life. But the location of the delve itself appears to be below the Well of Souls.
Just in roleplay, as David says that, I pull out my Sirra Sirra,
yes,
and I'm going to have a sniff of my Sirra Sirra. I'm a bit nervous.
Well, yeah, you got your whole personality changed too.
Well then,
since I do not believe we will gain permission from the Guardians to go down the well, I think we will have to try and find a route either up from below or in from the side, Master.
Oh, I'm quite certain you won't get any kind of dispensation from the Wardens. I mean, you yourself know, Osric, they are Coriolites, so they are effete, I think would be the appropriate term. Aloof, perhaps.
Dedicated to custom, I believe, Master, is probably the best description. And changing custom is not something they are easily capable of doing. Therefore, I believe we must investigate other routes.
Well, I will leave you to that then. Of course, anything that the guild can do to assist you. But obviously, if I would like you to explore this ruin. I know what I'm asking you in asking you that. I know the difficulty I'm putting before you. Since it is in such a dangerous location, dangerous in that, not dangerous, more perhaps, I guess, difficult to access would be a better description.
Yes, I believe so, Mistress.
I will authorize additional hazard pay should you be successful in your delve.
Thank you, Mistress.
Mistress, would there have... I know this is a strange question. Have you ever heard of anyone doing a delve around or in the Well of Souls? Has there been any... I've not heard of anything, but has there been any rumours or... Never?
Not once. I mean, even when Najar was going on about the tablet and the possible ruin, I don't think he even imagined that it would be on Ship City. So either this is a ruin that no one has ever discovered, or someone has been concealing it somehow.
It's been well
and
hidden.
For some reason.
Under our noses.
Well, it
hidden in plain
appears that
sight, as they say.
it appears that ancient technology is being used by Davudon, and therefore they obviously have resources, possibly from that area. So it may well have been concealed by whoever found it. And I think we will have to try to locate any records we can in the archives around that particular area. Again, out of character, do we have 3D representations of the... I mean, what state is technology in terms of representing Ship City itself?
Weren't we able to look at a...
maps,
Didn't we get to look at a 3D projection to work out where that thing was? Didn't we look at a 3D
but
one?
that was builder technology. That's not yours.
Yeah.
That's beyond. That's not
paper.
even heirloom technology. That is builder technology. It is essentially, for lack of a better term, alien. So, no, what you've got is paper, essentially. unless you were able to access someone's computers, but even then, there's no guarantee there would be records.
So, would we have a
'Cause some of
copy
the
of the map of
computers
Ship
can still
City
be-
in paper, though?
Yeah.
On paper, like
Sure.
what we could see there.
Like you essentially have access to, or you can even say you guys have your own version of that map. Yes.
I mean, I think I actually have something like that. I have a cartographer's
Yeah.
kit, in fact.
Yeah, there is probably like if you go to like main city hall or something, we can get blueprints of a building or something, and they
Well,
have
if we've
each
got
level in it.
this, and we know we need to get to the City of the Dead and into the Well of Souls, I'm looking at the Simban Maze. I'm wondering if there's a
Well, the
back way
Simban
in?
A way
Maze
in
is
through the
below
Simban
the Well of
Maze.
Souls, isn't it? It's
Well,
below the Well of
well-
Souls.
Well, so if we know the Will of Souls is here, do we know there's another location there that we can maybe bypass it? Like, go into that area?
I mean, you can try to see if something like that exists. What I will do is we'll wrap up this shift. So I'm gonna nope. That's not what I wanted to do.
And I think before we wrap up the shift, we need some medical assistance for certain
Well,
members.
we're
Yeah.
gonna get to
I'm
that.
3 out of 10. I'm 3 out of 10.
We're gonna get to
I
that.
took a lot of
So-
damage.
Yeah, I'm
As-
5
Mate,
yeah.
as
you
a-
get broken
so-
twice. You're fine. You're fine.
As a part of the shift progressing, it is now evening. It's 1800 hours. Can I switch this map settings to where it doesn't do it like that? I'll look into that. But anyway, so it's evening. But because a full shift passed, everybody regains 1 point of health and 1 point of heart.
Brian,
Yes.
I've got to roll an insight roll because I've still got my mental trauma of nightmares every shift. It says.
Okay,
every
make a
I'm
roll.
sorry. Sorry, every shift spent sleeping. Sorry.
Oh
So
yeah,
when
you're
we go
not
to
sleeping.
sleep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
looking forward to that one.
I'm sure.
So what is
it'll
it?
Be great.
One piece of
yes.
one hope.
One hope, one heart.
I'm full on heart, so
Me
just
too.
one hope for
I
now.
thought it was
No,
one
no
health,
hope.
one heart.
Hope is only
no.
restored
Oh yeah,
through
sorry,
sleep.
yeah. One health, one
Heart
heart.
and health.
One heart, one health. I'm on one
Okay.
hope.
I'm on.
I'm
I'm
on
full on
3.
heart and health. I'm 3 on health. I'm 3 on health.
Oh, there we go. Toggle 12 hour.
Excuse
format. Do that for
Well,
me.
aren't you 4 on health
That's
now?
not doing it.
Because you've regained 1.
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, you get one
You've
health
regained-
back.
One health
You get
and one
You,
heart.
you automatically regain 1 point of health every shift
Oh.
that passes. So
Okay.
a shift just passed, you get a point of health.
Okay.
And heart if you need it.
I'm a 4.
I have to do a little bit
Also
more
heart
to.
if you need it.
And you have to do a little bit more nursing to help you improve that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm been
well-
distracted for a while.
Oh yeah, so your nurse I think only kicks in if you're actively helping someone while they are
Exactly.
resting. Okay, yeah. No,
Yes.
we're not resting, that was just normal.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should be at 4 health right now, Max.
I
Um,
shall still lecture him on what he should be eating, though.
That's fair. So, in the evening shift, which would be 6 p.m. now, you guys can spend the evening shift doing research in various ways. If you explain to me what you want to do, I'll tell you what to roll. Or, well, you can spend it doing research. You can spend a shift spending experience if you tell me what you're doing and
Mhm,
how
mhm.
and what you want to improve. I'm assuming you're probably going to sleep in the overnight shift.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, depends if these
So-
nightmares kick in or not.
Right. So let's jump into what we're doing. So for this next evening shift, Muska wants you to explore it. She is willing to help, but she's basically her help is I'm going to give you guys additional pay for completing the delve. You get a
Yeah, it's
certain
very-
amount of pay
it's
for completing
limited.
a delve, a certain
Mhm.
amount for what you bring back, and also she's going to put more on top of that for the hazard pay. You've already gotten a reward from her not too long ago, so you should still have some rock.
Oh yeah,
you're
I've
gonna-
a decent amount.
If you've got a delve coming up, you also want to start thinking about shopping for supplies because you're going to need supplies
Mhm.
depending upon how much you have total.
think we got like 32. Like it's a good bunch of them
So generally, this is what you need to consider for supplies. I'll explain it and then leave it to you. Every delve is broken up into zones. Each zone is a indeterminate distance, but it takes essentially like an entire shift to cross. Or no, I'm sorry, a stretch. So each zone takes about 15 minutes to cross. So you can complete a delve in a single shift, depending upon how large it is, and also depending upon whether or not you take rests, which is usually not suggested in delves, but you can do it in much larger delves. You don't know what this delve is going to look like. But assuming a ship city is only so big, assuming a small to medium-sized delve, it's suggested in the core book, and so basic explorer training suggests that you take double the amount of supply it takes to get to the bottom.
Coming back, don't you?
Because you also have to use it coming
back. Yeah.
I remember that.
So
you've got the archaeology talent, Dave, yeah? Or was it the other one? What did you take in regards to studying stuff?
I have librarian, cultural savant, astrometry, and glyph scholar.
Glyph scholar, you took that. I'm considering a level in archaeology. I've already got one in.
Are we gonna, before we do that, are we gonna
artifact specialist?
Are we all? Because I want to level up as well, but we need to do. Are we doing research on the Well of Souls, or?
I think we should.
How are we going to do that? I mean, David, could you, Osric, could you speak to someone in the Coriolites, maybe? Because it is a Coriolite run.
Well,
it is a very
place.
It is a very specific faction within the Coriolis.
There's also the option.
Suppose,
There's also the option
not
of just
Well
going.
of Souls per se that we want.
We can also go to a library and
Areas around
study. We could study its construction, when it was built, when they built the Well of Souls, what the process for building it was, and we might find out what's an adjacent space next to it or near it from that. We could do that.
What happened to that big library we went to?
Just to be clear, let's just break it down. Yeah, I mean, you could potentially try there. Let's break it down by person, right? So, I mean, you don't all have to necessarily work together. Go ahead, David.
Quick question.
Yeah.
As far as nurse is concerned, what do I actually have to do? Looking at the nurse talent, if you spend a shift caring for a patient, they heal 2 points of damage instead of 1. Do they have to be sleeping?
Resting.
They do not. No, that's just you spending a shift caring for them. So if you want to spend a shift using nurse, so let me break it down like this. If you'll recall, or maybe I never said this clearly, so I want to be clear about it now. When we're in kind of like loose, open shift action like this, you can take one significant action per shift. So if you want to nurse somebody, that's going to be your significant action.
Yes.
You can potentially like do some role playing and interaction with people on the side, but you're spending the majority of your focus on that shift taking care of somebody.
Yes. In other
so
words,
you would essentially.
If I'm taking care of him, I can't be researching. Yes.
You can't do research. You can't talk to. You can't try to get more information. You essentially would be assuming you're talking about Max. You would essentially be following Rico around, just making sure, like, oh, don't strain yourself, just trying to make sure that he's not doing things to get worse. Same thing is true.
Sleep just recovers hope, does it?
Sleep, yeah. So if you spend a shift sleeping, you get the normal amount of health and heart back, but you also roll 1d6 and recover that much hope.
Okay, and there is
but
no
that's the only time you recover hope.
And there's no other medical way of getting that health back for...
No. Because again, medicine is specifically for when people are broken.
Yeah.
It's reading talents currently.
And you're currently 6 down, so that would be 3 shifts of me nursing you to get that back.
If you want him to be full before you guys go into the delve, yeah.
Well, it would make a hell of a lot of sense for that, wouldn't it?
I think,
I'm
if I
also two
recall
down.
correctly, though, let's double check.
Don't we get it back when we sleep?
Take, no, just 1 point.
Go on.
Take a look at your, either one, like your ship or your rover.
Like comfy beds? Where has a
Oh, that's healing an extra condition. Okay, so that's not health.
Ooh, I can do that.
So never mind.
I could sleep in the thing and get my condition healed.
No,
Yeah.
that's not a condition. That's an affliction. There's a difference. Conditions
Oh,
are
okay.
when you have like your stats ticked, and
Got you.
so you take a penalty.
Oh, like
when you're rolling
dazed
those
or
stats.
dizzy or something like that. Yeah, I've got you. Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, I get
depending
this
upon-
disorient.
It's very possible for you to have like all of those conditions, and then it can take quite some time for them to be recovered.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as I'm aware, unless something is hiding from me in the text, the only way to recover health and heart is just time. Because
Right.
again, you got to keep in mind like this:
Okay.
even though Max is at half health, he's not actually injured because he's
No.
never been broken. He's winded,
Nope.
maybe. He's a little under the
dazed.
weather. Yeah, maybe a
Mhm.
little stressed, but he's not actually injured.
Well, if we spend the next shift doing stuff and then a shift sleeping or help us all, it'll get another 2 points back for Max, and then tomorrow we can look at me nursing him if I can't do anything else to do it. So I think if we spend this, I'm going to spend this next shift research.
Okay, so David's doing
Then-
research.
Yep.
Dave, what are you doing? Do you want to spend experience?
I do want to get a talent, yes.
So that'll be your shift. Max, what are you
Mhm.
doing?
I'm probably gonna be resting and get some of my health back.
Well, again, that's going to happen automatically.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna
So
get
you
one
can still
back
take
automatically.
you're going to get one automatically. So you can
Okay.
do an action
Um,
for the shift as well.
I don't know.
Don't forget,
would-
you guys
would-
have those handy kits in your ship and your rover, right?
Which
the galley in the ship produces 1 point of supply. Oh, per day. Is that
Right.
no roll?
No, I thought it was per shift.
No, it's per day.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, so we haven't been tracking that. What day are we on?
Does it only
Oh,
produce
oh,
that
oh,
if
yeah.
you're
No,
if
you have to be actively
running it.
doing it.
Do you?
It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not a
think so.
passive thing, and I'm pretty sure it's one per shift. You can spend a shift running that, and you can get one supply.
Nope.
No.
I'm looking at the galley in the grasshopper,
Hang on.
Phil Kitchen.
not the field
Maybe-
kitchen. The galley.
Oh. Yes, it produces 1 point of supply per day.
It
There's
just
nothing-
produces 1 point of supply per day. Yeah.
Wait, is this?
Let
Hang
me
on.
double check the book.
It's in the book. It's the grasshopper. It's the
Galley, yeah, produces 1 point of supply per
1
day.
point per day per level. So you guys actually do, and we'll just
So
have
we've
it
got that
be
many days
stocked
worth of extra.
in the galley. Tell
Oh,
you
so
what I'll
while that's been
do.
producing every day since we've been.
Yeah, just every day.
probably producing
So-
food or something. Yeah, probably like a little garden.
I'm gonna
Well, it's
take
ammo,
something.
isn't it?
And-
Ammo, food.
And the
supply.
field kitchen empathy roll generates one supply once per shift.
Per shift, but that's an
So
active
that's an
thing.
action you can take for the
Yes,
shift.
that's
an
Yes,
action.
is
That's
to
what
use
we
the
have to be
field
active.
kitchen.
to do
That's
that.
helpful when we going down Devlin.
So, I think.
So we started on,
It's been-
what was the first day?
Oh, I can tell you from notes if you want.
It was the 11th, I believe. So
Yeah.
I know it's at least been a week or more.
yeah, so
Think so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 for today. So I'm just gonna change the quantity of supplies that is currently in the
The grasshopper.
grasshopper
Hmm.
to 10. Which is fine because your grasshopper has a cargo capacity of 3,000, so it's fine.
We can always sell the supplies.
Well, I mean, you're gonna need some, so
Yeah.
that lessens the amount of supply you're gonna have to buy here moving into the delve.
I've got 8 on me
Okay,
as
so
well.
So I'm thinking about taking the pack mule talent, so that you get an extra 2 weight, an extra 2 slots,
Yeah.
which is
per
8,
level.
which is 8 more that you can carry. Because I'm very close to my carry limit all the time, so I'm thinking about taking the pack mule talent to get a wee bit more carry space. Because also, I feel like my character, the way he's he deals with maps and compasses and books and all sorts of equipment. He's always dealing with different stuff, and he's always pulling out a different tool to do a different thing. So I feel
Makes
like
sense.
he's a bit of a pack mule. He's got a big pack with loads of different tools and gear in it. I feel like I'm going to take the pack mule talent, and I imagine for that I could probably train that myself. That's just a case of being able to carry more weight or learning how to pack your bag a bit better, and I could do that by just practicing, right?
Yeah, I think it would be a combination of that, and maybe you go out to the shops to try and find some more effective gear for carrying stuff, right? Like a better pack,
hip pouches, or a better pack with better pockets.
Yeah.
Some straps and pouches.
So it won't cost you any money, really, but yeah. So you can do that, and you can spend your 5 points on that.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Dave, what are you gonna do? What do you want to improve?
I'm having the
or buy
hopeful talent, which increases my hope by 1 point per level.
Nice.
How? Okay, so I'll let you just buy that. But why?
This.
Why?
Why do I want it? Or
how are you getting it?
So I'm gonna go to because there's because of where we are and the nature of Ship City. I'm assuming there's in these cafes there's hashish, not hashish, but the hashish pipes and things like that. So I'm gonna go to one of these places and I'm gonna seek out a wise old timer who's gonna teach me how to self-calm whenever I start to lose hope. I can get to inner peace and
the best place
down.
to find somebody who can teach you that.
Go on.
Coriolites are very ordered.
I was gonna say you're gonna say Coriolites.
They're very
David's
ordered.
busy.
They're very mentally.
Oh, mind you,
stable.
I'm allowed to go there now, aren't I?
Are?
Yep.
Yep. I will go to the inner sanctum and I will seek out someone to help me address my inner calm whenever I start to lose hope.
I love this. This is what I'm gonna do. You spend some time moving through the inner sanctum and you find what appears to be bodily, because you still can't see his face. He's wearing a mask. Yeah. But what appears to be bodily, an older gentleman. He looks very frail. He's seated in kind of a park area. And he is in kind of a meditative stance, right? So what I'm picturing, and it's up to you if you want to do it this way. I just think it's hilarious. Have any of you ever watched the television show New Girl?
I think so, yeah.
No.
Okay, so
nope.
Don't watch it for Jessica Day because she's the worst part of the show. The best part of the show is all the guys and their relationships with each other. And at one point, this really bumbling guy. His name is, why did I just forget his name? Because Nick is just a bumbling, middle-aged, can't do anything right, kind of just bum, right? He's not a bum. He lives in an amazing apartment in San Francisco, but you get what I'm saying. It's a TV show. He meets an older Asian man in the park, and he sits down next to him, and he starts talking to him. And what's funny is, the older Asian man never actually speaks, not once. But Nick keeps talking back,
all himself.
He's having a conversation with him,
I get it,
and it helps him deal with
absolutely.
Stuff.
Yeah, totally understand that.
So I can picture Edris sitting down next to this guy, being "So you look like a pretty calm, stable guy. I'm trying to really no, yeah, you're right. Maybe I should think about." No, totally. What I'm really feeling, and so you're just chattering at him while he's just sitting there meditating He
and
never
then
speaks
thanking
to
him
you
as I stand
once.
up. This was
Yeah,
really helpful.
exactly.
Thank you very much.
Right,
And he's
right.
not done anything.
Right.
Or has he?
Okay.
Mm.
Or has he? Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you can buy
What's that?
Hopeful.
Ooh.
Hopeful,
Nice.
is that what it's called?
Hopeful,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got
And so-
7 hope now. Beautiful.
Yeah, when you drag that to your sheet, it should automatically increase your hope. Okay.
Yeah, the pack mule one automatically increased my encumbrance limit. when I
Yeah.
pulled it over.
So Max, what were you doing?
What I wanted to do is I wanted to try to get my jerry rig up 1, but unfortunately I need 10 experience for that one,
Yeah.
You're gonna
and I only
want
have
to.
9. So yeah,
Well,
what I
can't
might do
do
is
anything
I
about
might
it
maybe get in contact with somebody in like in my whole guard buddy, see if he knows somebody in the navigation guild that knows
Okay.
can connect us with somebody that knows like
Sure.
maybe who built this place, or there's records we can find
Yeah.
something like that, and it's in
Building
the
plans
navigation scope.
even.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're gonna go through your hull guard, buddy, you need to give me an empathy roll. David, you're
Okay.
doing research. How are you doing research? And where?
Let's see. Ideally, what I'd like to do is there a library of maps in the Explorers Guild or the Coriolites that I'm aware of?
I will tell you right now that yes, both of them would have libraries.
Nope.
I don't know of a better term for a library of maps. Cartography? I don't know, but yes, both of them would have something like that. You pushed it.
Yeah, I tried. Let's see if I get
Oh,
success.
yeah,
It
still
didn't
not.
hurt.
That's fine. I'll tell you what you find out in a second. So there wouldn't. Here's the thing: the Coriolis collection of maps would probably be, surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, more like than what the Explorers have. But that would make sense. The Coriolis have been around as a cohesive group since the
Yeah.
beginning of Ship City.
And the Explorers are probably more concerned with exploring elsewhere, so they're more likely to have
Correct.
maps of elsewhere. So
Correct.
I
And the
think I'm gonna have to
Explorers are a
return-
more recent guild.
So I'm probably going to have to return to the Coriolites' inner sanctum
Okay.
and.
I mean,
search
as a
through the library
Coriolite, you
there.
would have access.
Yes.
So if you want to give me, I think it'll be logic with your library use.
Do you mind if I indulge on the way there?
Oh, no, of course.
Couldn't do it on the surface.
Quick question, Brian. As well as
Yeah.
so while I'm in town buying stuff to make my pack mule talent, can I also buy other general equipment? Can I go shopping?
Yeah, that's fine.
So things
I will allow shopping as a part of
Okay,
increasing
and
talents.
things like medicine and drugs, like Casram, for example, I can find that somewhere, no problem, or I need to make a roll.
What's the code on it? What does it say?
Casram is info +2 to all logic rolls for a shift at the cost of 1 heart. Cost 800. I don't know what else you're looking for.
It'll say if it's
so
like rare
that
or something like that, doesn't
yeah,
it?
so if you'll notice on the tech column,
I'm not on that, so I'm just on the actual equipments thing and the thing where you
Yeah.
can pull it over.
oh
I'm
no,
not in
so
the
go
book.
back to the landing page and click on the money to open up the actual
Yep.
item lists. So Casram is a couple of things actually. It is, I believe, with the way that it's
Increases your
marked.
logic.
Yeah, so it is both restricted and generally only gotten from the Navigators Guild. So you need to have a navigator contact, and you have to basically somehow encourage them to sell you a restricted item.
Max, you said that you were going to speak to your buddy at the Navigator's Guild.
Yeah,
Do you think you could
yeah,
help?
I was-
Think you could maybe pick some of that up for me?
Possibly, yeah.
I'll
I will let Max make a separate empathy check for that to
Okay.
pick up some Casram.
Do you want to try and get me some of that, please? I'll give you 800 ruck.
Let's see what I can do.
Thank you.
Okay, could I so going through the library, effectively we're pretty certain this is an old builder ruin, isn't it?
Nice,
Yes.
Max. Nice.
And what we're looking for is some means of
accepting.
access, possibly for the rover. Getting a rover inside Ship City is not going to be easy. But
I don't. What is your intent in having the rover there? Because like the. Well, no, I'm just going to say straight out, that's not going to happen. Vehicles don't drive around Ship City. It's just, it's too tight.
Well, unless there's an access from the outside of Ship City that we're not aware of.
Based on the hologram that you saw, this is basically at the heart of Ship City, so it would be.
Okay, so we're going to be going in on foot, right here.
I think we're going. I think we're going down the Well of Souls. I do.
We probably have to sneak in there.
That
Well,
would
funny
be a
feeling we
great
might be
fish.
doing.
I'm thinking that in my head, by the way. Obviously, you guys can't hear me. I'm just thinking that in my head.
I think we might be as well.
So,
Okay.
what I
but
would like, I mean, you can research those maps. Why don't you go ahead and give me, like I
will try
said,
that.
a logic plus librarian, which I believe you have.
Okay, yes. And given that we think this is probably a builder ruin, can I use my old paper journal to assist me in this? Gives me a bonus to logic rolls on rolls concerning knowledge of builder ruins.
Yes, you can. You can apply that as the equipment for sure.
Jolly good. So, roll librarian on logic and add equipment. This is my old paper journal and it's on logic. And let's have a roll on that.
Oh, I
Look at
see a
that.
couple of sixes there.
Ooh, that's good.
It's 2
So,
sixes.
do you want to accept that, or do you want to push it?
I'm going to push.
Okay.
Yo.
Look at that.
Oh, there you go. 4
Nice.
successes.
Okay. So I'm going to come back to you, David. That's a fantastic
Mhm.
roll, and you learned a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Max.
Mhm.
So in discussing with your contacts at the Navigators Guild about access to the area around the Well of Souls, they can't help you. What they do tell you is that any information regarding the area around the Well of Souls is going to be securely in the hands of the Coriolites, or more specifically, the Grey Wardens.
Gordons.
Okay.
Now, as far as the Kasserum goes, how much ruck do you currently have, including the 800 that Oziel is giving you to buy it?
I have currently 2,500.
So you find someone who is willing to part with some Kasserum. He is asking you for 1,600, though. Double.
I give him the 800 from what he gave me, and I will pay the rest.
Okay.
I'll get that back to you as soon as you come back, don't worry.
Okay.
I'll take another 600 off my sheet then.
One-
another 800, sorry.
1 point on it can't be as simple as just being base costs when you only get 1 success on a restricted item.
Yeah, fair.
Oh,
I've paid double for it, so I'll give
You
you
know
that
what?
money.
Maybe double. No, I'm gonna back off that a little bit. Double is a bit too much. We'll say
Well,
it's
Soft with us, Brian. Going soft with us.
25%. No, double
No,
is
I'm
a
all
lot.
joking. Yeah.
25%, I think, is better. So that would
What
be
does it make it?
1,200.
1,200. So if
It'd be
I've
1,200.
right, so I need to add another 600 back. No, another 400 back, don't I?
400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then again, when you're checking items, going to the item tab is great, but if you really want to see, go back to the landing page and click on the money, and you can click on the different and it'll tell you got to check that tech column. If it's got a 0, it's freely available. If it Wait, is 0 freely available? Well, 0 is ordinary, essentially. A G means guild, and then the parentheses indicates which guild. So N is navigator, G is gardener, M is machinist, and if it's got an asterisk next to it, it's a restricted item. So you have to pass a roll to get it. And based on what we just did with Max, if you succeed with 1 success, it's going to be a 25% hike. If you succeed with 2 successes or more, if you succeed with 2 successes, you can get it at cost. If you get 3 successes, it's 25% less.
I think I'm going to spend 400 on a climbing kit advanced.
Is that openly available? I think it is. But just make sure you check it.
So where would it say that? It just says Tech 0.
So, okay, so that just means ordinary, and it doesn't have asterisks next to it.
No.
Next to the 0, next to the O, then it's fine.
Okay, that's 400. So just pay cost for it, yeah.
Unless you want to make an empathy roll to try to bargain with the person.
I'll try.
So this is what I'll do. If you're buying several ordinary items, because I don't want to do empathy rolls over and over again.
Right. Okay.
If you're buying several ordinary items, you can make 1 empathy roll to try to get a better deal.
Oh.
Okay. So, since it's an ordinary item and not restricted, with 1 success, you are able to purchase it at cost. If you get 2 successes, you would get 25% off.
Okay, so I am going to buy one of them then.
And so anything else ordinary you want to buy right now, you can buy at cost based off that roll for this shift.
Okay.
Question.
Yes, Dave.
In general equipment and clothing, there is Coriolite clothing.
Yeah.
Would that be general Coriolite clothing, or the Coriolites that do the City of the Dead?
Oh no,
stuff?
That's just general. That's like, yeah. You just go into a clothing store in the Inner Sanctum. You're not getting the City of the Dead robes. But that's an interesting thought, and you should maintain that thought.
It does say or disguise with Coriolites, so I thought
with Coriolites in general, but not specific.
Not that specific branch.
Keep that in mind.
Right. Oh, I am. Oh, don't worry. I'm
okay.
The gears are turning.
Binoculars are Tech 0 and not restricted. I'm going to buy those as well.
That's fine. All right, David. So, fantastic roll. 4 successes. I wasn't going to give you this much, but you got 4 successes, so I'm going to give you
Well, I
this
pushed. I could push again if you want.
No,
because I can push twice on logic.
No, go ahead and accept that. I'm not going to make you try and go for more than that much.
I'm quite happy to.
For you. No. So with 4 successes, amazing success, you find out a few things. First of all, in your initial cursory searches for maps and structural layouts and tunnels for Ship City, you initially find, and this is what you would have found with 1 or 2 successes, that any information regarding the area around the Well of Souls has been restricted. And it has been specifically restricted at the behest of the Grey Wardens, the Wardens of the Well. So, that's your first level. Second tier of success, you find one that they missed.
Ah, shit.
And you find an indication that the well, and this is no surprise, the well is quite deep, and at a certain point in the well, there is essentially a screen, an artificial addition that was put into place by the wardens that essentially catches the bodies that are dropped, and then they can be taken to the crematorium that is on that level at that depth of the well, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the 4th success, you find that it looks like that map has been altered. And by utilizing your knowledge of library lore, and I believe it's called, is it not called Palimpsest? Where like
Palimpsest.
people, yeah,
Yes.
where people
Yeah.
like would scrape off. You realize,
well-
wait, the feeling of the texture indicates something was drawn here before, and so you take extra time during the shift and really kind of get a feel for what was there. Maybe you get some additional tools and do like a rubbing of the sheet of paper itself to try and figure out. Basically, what you
IR
discover
scan, lemon juice and heat.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
But basically, what you discover is there is a significant void beneath where that screen is. And in addition to that, there is a tunnel that leads down to the main shaft of the well at an angle that, from looking at modern maps and this, kind of removed representation that you found, indicates that there is a tunnel probably in one of the mausoleums that leads into the well.
Very good.
We found an alleyway.
Nice. So, guys, just while I'm doing my shopping, I've just bought a large backpack, and then once I bought it, I realised that I already had a normal backpack in my equipment. So instead of going through the hassle of selling that, I've just dumped that in the Rhino. So that's in the Rover. So if anyone doesn't have a backpack, feel free to grab that one. It adds an extra
I
one
think
to
everybody
your.
starts with one, but yeah.
Yeah, you
okay.
start with a little one.
Okay, well, there's a spare one in the thing now, because I got a bigger
Sure.
one.
Cool.
Which ties in nicely with getting the pack mule.
Yeah.
That's like
Talent.
you got the rucksack. You got the
So
big
as well as
rucksack.
getting the pack mule talent, I've gotten a bigger backpack, and I've filled my backpack with more important tools. I've got some climbing stuff, I've got some binoculars. I'm getting ready to go out and do a thing.
Now, I do want to I want you to keep in mind, buying those tools is fine, because those tools oftentimes, if you can make it make sense, they are tools with bonuses that will give you a bonus to a roll. But keep in mind that supply itself also includes those tools. You just don't get a bonus for using them, right?
Yeah.
So like,
These are
if
specific
you-
to
let me-
specific situations.
right. Like if you were in a situation where you had to climb something and you're all looking at your sheets and you're like, well, we don't have grappling hooks and rope. Do you have supply? Then you have grappling hooks and rope. So you basically expend supply to be able to,
But you don't get a
ascend.
bonus for it with supply.
But you don't get a bonus.
Whereas if
right,
if I
exactly.
use the climbing kit,
if you have actual equipment,
I get +3.
you get a bonus. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
All right, so that was all you get, David. So
That's fine.
That's
That's
everybody's
good.
shift.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Head back to I'm assuming you all reconverge at your grasshopper.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the overnight shift, I'm assuming you're all going to get some sleep.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone restores 1 health.
2 seconds.
Well, actually, hang on. You just did a whole shift of doing other things. So unless, Max, you already added one for that shift you were just in, you'll get
I was
1
I'm at
health
4.
and 1 heart for the shift you just passed. And then since you're sleeping, everybody will get 1 health, 1 heart, and roll a d6 for hope recovery.
So we get.
Nice.
So we're getting 2 health, 2 heart, and a d6 for hope.
Total, yes.
Okay.
Never mind.
Come on, be good to me, be good to me. Oh, I needed more than that. Okay, I'm on 4 out
They've
of
had
8.
to work on his nightmares.
Oh,
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
Oh
is
yeah,
it,
did you roll
yeah.
for your nightmares?
it's once
I'm
per.
sorry, yeah, no, I didn't.
Is it once
I
per
didn't.
session, Brian, where we can spend some time with our personal item or
Once per
trinket?
session.
I'll do that then.
Yeah.
It's-
Before I go to
it's
sleep,
not-
I'll spend a little time
Yeah.
with my mini terrarium.
Hey.
There you go.
So
Can they
basically,
accept that?
Nightmares are
Yeah.
condition, by the way.
it's a affliction, not a condition. So
Yeah, it's a
right.
affliction.
I've just got to do that before sleep, and I've got to pass it. Otherwise, the sleep that I have doesn't count, so I don't get the replenishing effects of sleep.
So,
Ryan.
I remember we rolled last time that
Okay.
like it's gonna be a couple days for my ear like gets
5
like,
days.
the distractions got 5 days for
I'll keep track of that. So David, your nightmares actually says heal time is until succeed, so that you have now succeeded.
Oh, excellent.
So
There
I
we
will
go.
delete that.
Lucky you.
No nightmares. No more
Well,
nightmares.
Oh, my question.
You
was...
ended up having 0 nightmares, actually.
Oh yes. Can I?
I had a freak out though, didn't I? I did have a freak out.
Can I do that once per session? Spend a little time with
Yeah,
my
sure.
miniature forest in a bottle.
Yeah,
Get one
you can
more
do that
hope
before
back
you go to sleep.
because I need it. More hope.
Yeah,
Can I do that as well
You can
with
do
my
that.
drawing?
yeah, with your drawing kit for sure.
Yeah. Sweet.
And I shall consult my recipe book and think about what I can get one of them to buy for me tomorrow.
Is there any?
Mushrooms.
Is there any drugs or medicines that put hope up?
Yes.
At the,
I
at the cost of
I
something else?
pass you a pack of my tobacco. Smoke that lot.
Okay.
It's a winner. It's a winner.
All right. Okay. I'll go smoke a whole pack of tobacco and cough my lungs up and lose 1 health and gain 1 hope, right?
It gives you one.
No,
hope,
I think
yes.
I don't think
Tobacco,
you
I
lose
think-
anything for tobacco unless you use it again in the same
Yes.
shift.
All right. So you can just use it once and just gain a hope.
Yes.
Once per shift.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I am hope
Yep.
farming. Hope farming. Hope farming. Let's go.
But
I'm up
again,
to
it costs
6.
money, so
Yeah. How much do you want
You
for
gotta buy
that,
that
cash wise? How much does that cost you, David?
I can't honestly remember. Is it a couple of hundred per dose or something?
I don't
what's the
think
price?
tobacco is
I
that.
better know because
bad.
I've only got 185.
Equipment.
I don't think it's that.
Well, no, I just pass you a pack.
But I'll need to pay for it.
No, you don't.
Food services.
Tobacco.
It's 25. 25.
I'll give you
It does heals
25.
1. Yeah.
Alright, I'll give you the 25 then.
Okay. Well, I shall. Have to get some
Amazing.
more
I'm
anyway.
up to 6 out of 8 now then.
Okay. So, next morning, or 6 a.m., roughly, some point during the next shift, everybody awakens. What are you going to do now?
Well, I will tell everybody what I found.
Okay.
Okay.
Have some calf.
And we need to we obviously need to find where the access point to this tunnel is from one of the mausoleums. So we need to think of a reason for us to go into the mausoleums, paying respect or whatever, and find the right one. I don't know whether I'll be able to find out which mausoleum it is from the maps, because I was pretty much stretching as far as I could.
Wasn't
Oh
it-
no,
wasn't
sorry,
there like
I wasn't clear. With 4 successes, you know exactly which mausoleum it is.
Ah, right, fine. Is there anything unusual about that particular mausoleum? Can I get a list of who's actually buried there, so we know who to go and pay our respects to? Blah blah blah.
like
blah.
somebody's
In other
family
words,
member?
Do
No
I have
one
to
is
do
buried
another
there.
life?
It is
No one's buried
no one is buried there. It's just it's essentially like a false cap, or it's built to look like a mausoleum, so as not to detract from the experience of being in the City of the Dead. But the way that it was described in the text that you found is that it's essentially used as a secondary entrance to go down to the crematorium, because otherwise, like, the Grey Wardens would have to just jump into the well, and that's not. They're not going to do
So
that.
aesthetically, it's made to look like a mausoleum for
Correct.
people around,
For
but
other
for
people
them it's like a
around.
backstage,
It's
entrance.
it's a backstage.
To...
It's a rear entrance into
I've got it.
the crematorium,
Yeah. That sounds
or
like
down
our
to
best
the
bet.
level where the crematorium is. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Osric, after you've told us all that, am I right in thinking that this area is accessible only by the Wardens?
No. It's
Yeah, okay.
accessible to anyone who is going there for a funeral if they're invited.
Sorry, I think he
In the
means
nor-
the entrance.
I mean, this specific entrance that you've seen is the mausoleum. I mean,
Well, normally, obviously, it is used by the Grey Wardens, but it's not a case of who has the right to use it. It's the fact that they're the only people who know it's there and can use it. As far as the area where that mausoleum is, access to that, yes, it's to the Grey Wardens, but also, presumably, it's also to other people who are going to pay respects. Would I be right?
so people wouldn't know it was there, or
Correct.
if
To
need be,
everyone else, it just
I
looks
get it.
like a
Yeah.
mausoleum.
do you wish me to do a cultural savant roll to give him chapter and verse on precisely how we could get in there?
You could, sure.
I will try doing that. And that would be on logic or insight.
Cultural savant, I think in this case would be logic.
Nice.
Okay.
You get a reroll on all logic because of one of the talents you've got. You get a second push on logic. Same as me.
Indeed, but I haven't. But none of my equipment's appropriate to that. So let's just try that. See if I can figure out an appropriate way to get in.
Oh, that's a shitty roll.
ooh,
I shall
Any
push
ones?
it.
I wouldn't. You've got
No,
three
no,
ones
no.
there.
Three
That's going to be
ones on
three
it.
hope
Oh,
immediately.
look at
I've got an idea how we could get in, Osric.
I'm pushing it.
Oh my
We
days!
need to get. Oh no!
Oh, all
You've
that
got
whole
So much
punch
hope
went off
lost
him.
and still failed.
He's got a second
we
No,
push.
no.
need.
I wouldn't push it again.
He's got no
I'm
more
not.
ones. He didn't get any more ones though.
We need.
You could do a second
get
push.
our
It's safe to do
hands-
Yeah,
a
but
second.
if he
Oh, no,
rolls
oh.
more ones, he's going to lose more hope. He's already lost 3 hope.
I'm going to lose another 3 if I push again.
No.
Osric.
If you push
we-
again and you
that-
don't get any ones, you won't lose any more. You'll only lose more if you get more ones.
Will I?
Yes.
Correct,
Won't I
but
lose
if you
3
roll
for the
4
original?
more ones...
Yeah. You don't instantly lose another 3. You're not going to instantly get another 3 hope lost. You could roll no ones and lose no more hope, but you could roll 4 and lose 4 more.
Which would break me.
Yeah, that would break.
Yeah,
I think
I
you're
wouldn't-
good.
I
You're
wouldn't.
like, I'm good.
What's the chances of rolling 4
So-
ones
Okay,
and you
anyway,
just roll
Dave-
3?
Dave's
So
got
my
an idea.
knowledge of the customs
I've
of
got
the
an
Grey
idea.
Wardens is nil.
Correct.
We need to get our hands on a warden's costume outfit.
Can I
If we
remind
could
you,
do that.
we do have a stealth cloak.
Yeah, I have a stealth.
That's
Yeah, that'll cloak one person.
One bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
still.
enough for one person to get what we need. Probably, like there's certain items.
But
We
we
all
need
need
to
to
know
get in the way.
where-
No,
we-
you all need to go down there for the delve.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a
so we need to
one
get
person does
access
a delve.
to the
No.
warden's place, and we need to get this enough suits for us.
So
To get
let
into
me
the-
be clear. What Osric discovered is he knows exactly which mausoleum is used for the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just a matter of using that entrance. Now, if you want to be undetected while you're using the entrance,
Sneak
it's not
in.
like the Grey Wardens have patrols.
We just need to be fairly
Okay.
sneaky.
You just need
Sneak
to make
through.
sure that there's nobody around when you go in, right? The
Do that then.
well the City of the Dead is open to everyone at all times.
But there's not funerals
So-
going on there every day. It's just people wandering and like looking
I mean,
around. And
there
stuff.
there are funerals happening with the same frequency as a population of, what did I say before, like 160,000 would
Yeah, something like that.
warrant, right?
So, but every day,
So-
that many
There
people.
Yeah.
might be
Yes.
at least one funeral every day,
People die every day in that.
or every
in that
couple of
many
days,
people, yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
And that's not even including people who are off city, right? Like people who die in the far colonies probably want to
Come
have
back
their
here
bodies
to be
sent
buried.
back to
aye.
Ship City to be
And not everybody who dies goes into the Well of Souls.
goes into the Well of Souls.
correct. Yes.
None of the gardeners do for a start.
No, we use ourselves
Correct.
as compost.
Yeah. The gardeners go to a very different place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this is just about us timing this properly.
I think
and
so.
Right.
I think
Basically,
so.
yeah.
Gather your gear, boys.
Right, let's gather our gear. So are we gathering
Well-
our gear and then going? Because if we are, that would be a nice time to do the halftime break, and then we could think about what we're taking.
Well, I would suggest that we stick our dear friend Rico down in a bunk to rest while I nurse him back to health.
Of course, he needs healing, doesn't he? Yes. Yeah, sorry, Rico.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
for the morning shift, yeah, you can do one more
Yeah.
heal on him. Again, he doesn't have to rest. He can engage in another activity, like for example, using the
I think to get
preparation
one
kit.
supply.
Mm.
Yes,
you just have to, yeah.
You could go out and buy me some more tabac, please, because my stocks have been quite badly depleted. He says, smoking.
Oh wait, no, your
20.
nursing thing does say that he has to be resting, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So if you two are going to be taken up with him resting and you supporting him, then the
I can
other
go
two
out
of
and
you
get
can
yours
do
back.
something for the morning shift.
I'll go
But
get
what
your
I also wanted to
tabac,
tell you,
Osric.
because this will be important information for you.
Mhm.
Let me get to the map that I want to look at. I can find where I put it. There it is. Okay, so from David's inspection of that map, I would say, David, you're probably figuring that just to get down to the screen and the crematorium area
Mhm.
is going to be, if you take the side entrance and don't go down the well itself,
Yep.
which I think you're planning on doing.
Yep.
You're estimating that will be at least just to get to that screen is going to take at least 10 supplies.
So that's 20 there and back.
That's just to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
There is a huge void beneath the screen.
Underneath. Yes.
That
So you're talking 40 supply.
Well, hang on
Oh.
a second. Hang on a
And the
second.
rest.
10 supply there, 20 back.
If this is the route that the Grey Wardens take to get to the crematorium, then it may be 10 supply to get there, but are they spending 10 supply every time they go to the crematorium?
Well, that's a fair point. You do have to keep in mind that this part, the delve part of the RPG, is kind of gamified. So whether
So they've
they
got
are spending supply or
armor.
not doesn't
It's
matter.
irrelevant.
You
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Well, if they're taking the same risks we are, then I'm surprised. I'm surprised there isn't a higher turnover of Grey Wardens. Anyway, so we need to sort out how much supply we've got. I've got 10. There's 10 in the shuttle. How much has everybody else got?
I've got 3
Got
on me.
8 on me.
And is that 10 supply for the team or 10 supply?
That's for the
per
team.
person? Yeah.
That's for the team.
But remember,
Now,
double
I
everything.
will also remind you.
This is a two-way
I
trip.
will also remind you that events can occur during the trip
Mhm.
that can also cost supply.
Yes.
You can also potentially gain supply in
I
some
think-
delves.
I think we need to have like 50.
I got 11.
We
I got
could
11.
also, if we need to, we can approach the Explorers Guild and see if they will spot us some supply for the trip, or Master Muska.
Also, keep in mind, supply is only 100 ruck each.
And it's
Supply is not
We could just
expensive.
buy it, yeah. I've got about 100
So-
left though.
According this isn't counting what's on the shuttle. According to your crew sheet, between the 4 of you right now. Oh no, sorry, that's including Garita. Does Garita have supply? She's still technically.
Is it
part
10?
of the
Is
group.
it 10 supply per encumbrance?
No, 4.
No, it's 4.
Okay. Well, I can take
So
another 4
Garita-
supply.
Garita has
So-
8, so I'm taking Garita's 8 out.
And I'll add
She
that
would
to
have
me
left
then.
that behind.
I'll add 8
you're
to
gonna
me
take
then.
that 8?
Yep.
Okay. Remember,
so-
use your little pips
so I need to
on
set
the
it
side
to
of your
11.
area.
Yep. I know
So-
there's one inside the.
I'm almost full on encumbrance now. That's me at 10.75 out of 11, so I can't carry anymore.
That hasn't updated the sheet though. Oh,
I'm at
yeah, okay, I just need to
7.5.
close
I
it.
am.
So according to your crew sheet, between the 4 of you, you're now carrying 40 supply.
That's more like
Which-
it, but I think
Being up
I can
that.
carry more.
I
I can
think
carry
But if
more
you have
stuff.
room for more, it's
think
not a bad idea to have
if-
additional supply because
Fairly-
you also need supply for ammunition.
Yeah,
Aha.
fill your
Supply for
pockets,
possible events.
Rico.
I think 50 at least. Rico, if
Fill
you
your
can
pockets.
fill your boots, mate. Aye.
You
Now
got 10 more in the shuttle.
I've got
Yeah,
a lot of inventory spaces, but I'm carrying a lot of stuff. Let me go through a list. Tell me if there's anything you think I shouldn't take. So binoculars, a climbing kit, cast ram, which helps with logic. I've got a gun, I've got a gun, a throwing weapon, and a melee weapon. In fact, I could drop off the brass knuckles. That's one more thing I don't need, because that's another melee
Yeah, you
weapon.
probably don't want to punch Blight.
Yep.
No.
I've got a med kit, basic, cartographer's kit, magnifying glass, my old paper journal, which helps with logic concerning botany, a compass, a star chart. We're not going flying away miles away. I could probably lose that just now, eh?
Yeah, we're not going that far.
Yep. And I've got an electric
Yeah,
lantern.
does it even have weight?
Yeah, it does.
Some of those items might not have weight. Okay.
yeah.
Um,
If they say tiny, it doesn't have weight, does it? If it's tiny, is that right?
Correct.
yeah. What did I just drop off? The star chart.
Your star map.
It's got cargo half, weight half, so it has got a weight.
Yeah.
I've got the stone tablet.
Do we need to still hold that?
Do you
Well, we
want to
don't
leave
know
it
whether or
behind
not
on
it
your
would
ship?
have
I don't want to leave it behind. I don't want to leave it behind. I've also got.
Take
I don't know why I've got that thing of supply there on my sheet. I can delete that. Oh,
Well, do you need your trucker? Do you need your
oh no.
cartographer
So if I change
or
that,
no?
well that is the supply that changes automatically with that, right? Okay. So that's me now. Got myself down to 10.25. So I've got 0.75 capacity.
Yeah, I can carry. I only got like 6. I don't know. It's like 6 point something out of me.
What's your capacity?
Mine's 11. I already have like 11 supply on me.
And you can make that 12 if you
Well,
get
again,
if you get a large backpack.
There's 10 more in the ship.
Take the 10
Do you
that's in
want
the
me
ship,
to-
Max.
All right,
Reduce that to 0 and you take it all.
Oh. So presumably you're
Yep.
taking the camouflage cloak. Has anybody got the quarter rifle with
I'm
scope?
having the camouflage cloak. Dave can have the
No.
rifle if he wants it.
I've got a fusillade rifle, but if Brian wants to give me the scoped rifle, I'd be more than willing to trade.
4, 5.
Give me a second.
6,
If you get caught with that cloak on,
9.
Ozil, I'm not forgiving you. You know that, don't you?
If somebody can do shopping for me,
Yeah.
I will take the 3 supply that Davudon was carrying and pay 100 for another supply, and that puts me up to 14 supply, which is me fully encumbered.
Yep, that's fine.
I will go and get
Yeah,
your
it's
tobacco.
not a bad idea to be max encumbered with supply when you go into a delve.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Picking up with.
So maybe I'll take 3 more then, and
Well, you're
And-
gonna have to buy more because I've already taken the 10 out of the ship.
all right.
Because
I don't
Max
really,
took all
I
of
don't,
that.
I don't really
Yeah.
want to buy anymore. That's fine. I'm done. I'm good.
Okay.
Unless
I will-
you want to talk to Muska and see if she'll give you an advance.
Nah, I mean,
Musker would lend us some.
I think we've got 50 plus now. I think we're good.
Sure.
So
I think so.
Again,
Is
according
everybody
to your-
fully
yeah,
encumbered?
you're at 54.
Is
No, I'm
everybody fully-
8.75 out of 11. So.
Max has still got quite a bit of space.
I'll take some more then.
We need to buy some more
Come
then.
on,
You're gonna have to buy it. You're all out from all your other sources.
So I'll go shopping.
In which-
Where's the? Is it services and food, or is it ammunition?
For supply,
It's just a matter because you're
Yeah,
not going to drag it
supply.
over. You're
it's
going to
just
be
100.
changing. Just yeah, you
You
just
go
matter. You're
anywhere.
not
It's just
dragging it over,
100
Dave.
per
All you're going to have
unit.
to do is press the pips on the screen.
I'm not going
Of
to let you make
course.
an empathy roll to reduce the cost of supply, because supply is just kind of a nebulous thing. So it's 100 per unit.
Okay, who needs some money for buying supply?
Well,
I'll buy 3 more, and then I'll give them to Rico.
I can take 3 more.
Okay, so Rico,
I've got
you can
room.
have 3 more.
I've got room for 3 more. If somebody's got the money for 3 more.
I'll buy 6 more and
Okay.
give 3 to each of you.
Okay, so 3 more for Rico.
That's
3
me
more
carrying
for Oliver.
14 now and fully encumbered.
So based on
Right.
that, if you guys click all of that, you should be up to 63.
Oh, I feel good about that number. Surely. Yeah.
And I'm also spending another 200 on tabac.
Hey.
I'm only seeing that you're at 61, so by my count, somebody should have 2 more. Is that you, Max?
I got
No, it was me.
4,
It was-
8,
it was
12,
me.
16, 20, 24 supply on me.
I've got
Okay.
11 now.
I've got 14.
I've got
Okay,
14.
so now you're at 63. Okay, cool. So that's probably a decent amount, to be fair. And like I said, it doesn't hurt to go in fully stacked.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a break. The intention is you're going to rest this shift, and the 2 of you are going to go shopping, which we've already taken care of. Max, you can go ahead and give yourself 2 more health for resting and being nurtured by your nurse.
Okay.
When we come back,
not that hamburger. It's a good quality salad. It's got all the right ingredients.
Here's healthy
So-
food. I'm like, okay.
when we come back, we're gonna head there. So you already have a plan for you're going to just basically be careful and wait
Just be
until
sneaky.
nobody's looking and go in through the secret side entrance, right?
Yep.
So then we can skip any kind of infiltration of the City of the Dead. We'll go straight to the Delve
Question,
because
sorry.
you know what you're doing.
Before we go, Brian.
Don't
me if
forget to
I'm
put the
wrong.
rifle on my sheet, though. I want that
Ash
on the
has
delve.
recovered full energy,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, Ashes should recover 1 energy every time you guys recover health.
Question, Brian. When I get this
Sorry.
invisibility cloak, is that going to have a weight?
Yeah, it's gonna have weight 1.
Weight 1, so I'm going to have to drop 4
You're-
supply then.
No, you're not gonna need it in this delve. It wouldn't help you anyway. Just leave it
Okay.
on the ship.
Okay. Right, let's go for a break. We'll see you in 10 minutes, Twitch. Back.
Okay. So
The city of
you
the
travel to
dead.
the City of the Dead relatively uneventfully, wrapping up the coiler rifle with First Servant Nima's seal, just in case you get stopped. But no one really accosts you. You take some back roads, stick to the edges of the chasm, and you're able to get here. It is morning, so things haven't really picked up here that much. The location that you're looking for is actually right here at, well, you can't see because the map is so big.
I just
But if you
zoomed
can
way
see
back
G,
in. Yep.
G is the warden entrance to the Well of Souls.
Okay.
So, if you enter, if you zoom in on yourselves down there at the bottom, very, very tiny, the kind of lines with squares on them to either side of you, those are essentially walls. You can climb them. They're not super high, but they're walls. And then the solid line down the main avenue up towards the main circle where you were for Najjar's funeral is more of like a low level, like probably at most knee height kind of wrought iron filigree kind of fence, right?
Just like little loops or something.
Right. So you want to get to area number G. That mausoleum is what you're trying to get to. How do you want to approach it? Dead on, or do you want to come in from the side, go over the wall, and
over
keep
the
an eye
wall
on the mausoleums?
And come in round the back of the mausoleums, yeah, using the shadows and whatever cover we can to kind of sneak around the back.
So the light is quite dim in the Well of Souls. I mean, it is a cavern. There are some lights, but there's plenty of shadows for you to use to your advantage. I am going to require though, that everyone give me an athletics type of test, right? So you're going to be rolling strength. It is strength, isn't it?
Not agility.
Depends on the type
You
of
know what?
athletics,
You
'cause there's
can
strength
you
and
can
agility.
roll you can roll the better of strength or agility to get over the wall without drawing much attention to yourself, but keeping in mind that you have a whole bunch of gear on each of you.
I've got pack mule. I've got pack mule talent.
yeah.
I can use correct. I mean, I get a roll. Nah, 'cause it doesn't have a +0. It doesn't. It's got a +0 on it, so it doesn't give a bonus on
it's not a
rolls.
bonus.
Is there any chance I could use a stealthy talent?
No. This is straight up just physical
climbing the wall.
exertion to get over the
Climbing.
wall.
All right. Okay.
So best of strength or agility for each of you. That's 2 successes. There's a third. Okay, so Osric, I'm not going to make you push that. Just go ahead and accept it.
Once the three of us
The
are
only
up, we
thing
can
that
get him
happens...
over, eh?
Well, no, I mean, this is just to give you a sense of some of the other things you can do with the system, right? The only thing that happens to Osric is that you strain yourself a little bit. So we're going to say that you're exhausted from your trying to climb over the wall. You don't take any real damage or anything. You just have a condition.
Nice.
So click exhausted above your strength.
Just quickly check the mechanics then while that comes up. So when you've got one of those conditions, which are you can get one for each of the 6 things, what does that do? That give you a -1 dice on the rolls?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
On rolls associated with that attribute.
With that
yes.
stat, yeah. Cool.
Me and Osric
Aye.
got dazed when we had his magic mushroom meal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's over by now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's
Say
just-
that
that was one of the
was
conditions.
when we had our condition.
It was great, wasn't it?
It was lovely.
Okay,
Well,
so you
yes.
guys managed to get over the wall. You're going to approach.
Then round the
Tell me your
back,
plan
yeah.
on getting in.
Okay. Well, I would suggest that we go to the next bay and make our way down the aisle
Thank you.
there. Yep, and then that's
Mhm.
it. And then we send the person who's most likely to be able to figure this out over to have a look at it. And unfortunately, that's probably going to be me, isn't it?
So again, you know that it's that mausoleum. It just looks like any of the other mausoleums. The question is whether or not it's freely open or anything like that. So
I mean, unless the investigator
You-
talent's going to help with that, then it might be me.
you take some time to make sure that you're not running into, I assume, any of the wardens
Yep.
of the well.
Yeah, skipping
So there
up against the wall
Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
there doesn't appear to be any going in and out. And if you look to essentially what is north on the map, from where like the vents for the crematoriums are, they are currently dark, right? So the crematoriums are not currently active. So it would make sense that maybe there's nobody down there. Or if there is, they're already down there and nobody else is going down and coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you wait 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, a couple of stretches, and you don't see anybody go in or out. How long do you want to wait before you go in?
So wait for a gap. Wait for a gap in and just go.
You're not seeing
anybody,
any
though.
motion.
There's no gap.
Right? And so,
Who's
yeah,
going in?
you can basically go anytime and just make sure nobody's around to see you.
Yeah.
It's a big
Well,
place.
well,
There's
if
only
there's
so many
nobody-
wardens.
If there's nobody can see us at the moment, I mean, I can
Yeah.
ask Ashers to just pop up onto the roof
You know,
of
we
this
fly
building
around.
and let us know if there's anyone within human eyesight.
Right? So Ashes does so and communicates through your device that no one around.
Okay, in that case, I gesture the team forward.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
So as you approach the mausoleum, it becomes very clear there's a door there, like there are on all mausoleums, and if you test it, it's unlocked.
Is there any
There you go.
alarm on it at all? I will ask the no. Well,
Yeah, it just
let's
looks like
go in.
a stone mausoleum door.
Let us go in.
Okay. Then now we're gonna get to the fun stuff.
Of course, if there's blight just on the other side of the
Yes.
doorway, I shall be extremely upset.
Okay,
Oh,
so
here we go.
you see the scan, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
I shouldn't have had that up. But you're
Oh, I'll hide it.
somebody.
I can hide it.
No. I don't worry about it. So somebody's gonna want to make a scan, right? We're gonna go through this procedure as we should. I'm gonna move. You're not moving individually now. You're gonna move as a group. So I'm gonna put your token up there, which is your group token, which you should now be able to see.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming at least one of you has a light. I know a lot of your
I
suits do as well. So...
I have somewhere
Right.
an electric lantern. Projects a cone of light up to short range.
Okay, so delving is a procedure. It is admittedly kind of board game like, but obviously there's role-playing elements to it. The first thing that you generally do during a delve is a scout. I should have had this just black to begin with, but you've already seen it, so it's fine.
We want the crew sheet up for this, don't we?
I mean, you might use your crew sheet or your individual sheets, it just depends. But the first thing that you want to do is have whoever is going to be playing the scout make a scan, essentially,
Okay.
of the delve. And that's where this will come from. So actually, I could...
Is that the first thing? Isn't the first thing that I ask Ashers to scan for blight up to 4 sectors ahead?
Well, the scout doing a scan, assuming they have the appropriate device, basically would show you this entire delve. Otherwise, you're going to be playing with this.
Okay.
That's what it should have been to start. I should have had that turned on.
It's
Because
okay.
I'm assuming all you see now is black.
Yeah, I hid it from the
Yeah.
viewers. It was only up for a
Yep.
split second.
Okay. So currently all you see is black.
Yep.
You want to have the scout do a scan with an appropriate scanning device, which hopefully a scout has.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's
I think it was like I think I have an item called the deep scanner. Is that what it
Yep.
is?
I'm the scout, so you probably want to hand it over to me.
Yeah. That's why I picked it up when I was there, and I
He
passed
can
to
carry
you.
it, but yeah, you can use it.
Okay, so you can carry it and I'll use it. So I'm
Yeah,
rolling.
that sounds like.
Well, he's gonna need to He's gonna need to pass it over to you if it has a bonus.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Does it have a bonus, or is it just an item that you?
Oh, it's a
use?
bonus of 3. It's a bonus of 3.
Yeah.
Right,
So
so
go
if-
ahead and pass it over to him.
Okay, just put it on the mud crawler on the rover, Max, and I'll take
Okay,
it from
I
there.
will. There you go. Here's in the medical roller.
Thank you. What's it called?
This is called a deep scanner.
Deep
Deep
scanner. Oh yeah.
And you may have
Okay.
to pass some supply
So-
back to
yep,
Max
so take
to
4
make
sup-
space.
Well, no, you can be over encumbered.
No, well, it's
It
okay.
just
We can
affects you.
move the stuff around. Max, take 4.
Oh, you can give him supply. Yeah.
Take 4 supply.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got that.
Yeah, that's
so
a
now,
good way to do it. Just pass
There you go.
supply over.
so now I'm going to. I'll be rolling a perception, or is it logic, or insight, or
I think it's
Hang on.
logic.
I think it's logic.
I'm getting to the point.
I'm
where
thinking
we
it's
need
like
here.
the alien scanner, like the earliest, like some kind of
Pairing, deep
sonic
scanners.
gram.
Okay. Let's see. Usually, deep scanner is operated by a scout right before the beginning of the delve. This is done with a logic roll with a gear bonus from the scanner. It takes 1 stretch of time and thus consumes 1 supply point. So somebody's going to have to drop a supply point.
Oh well, I got plenty of that. I'll do that.
If successful, it provides a schematic overview of the delve, a deep scan map, which the explorers can use to plan their route.
And none of my
So,
talents are going to work
logic-
for this.
What's that?
Investigator doesn't work for this because it's not. I'm not investigating. I'm scanning, right?
No. This is just a straight up deep scan.
So it's logic plus the deep scanner for the equipment. Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
That's +3 is not bad.
Yeah, well, I've got 6 on logic. It's 9 dice.
Oof.
That's still two.
Nice.
Got
Yeah.
a got a
So,
feel in the equipment
now-
dice, though.
Now
Push that.
we will turn on the deep scan.
Okay, so I'm gonna accept that. I'm not pushing that. Or I'll fuck the deep scan.
Brian, did you draw that? Just out of curiosity.
Oh no, that's
right.
from the book.
It's
I've set up
Very
all
nice.
like the swapping between fog and the deep scan and stuff.
You've
Yeah,
overlaid them
yeah.
on top of each other. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. Very, 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 very
Yeah.
cool.
So you should now be able to see, to a certain distance. I believe I have it set up to where you can see the whole top part that says the Lost Vault, and
You
it's
can see
got
the,
like the
can see the whole
obelisk
thing
there,
currently.
because that's lit up essentially. But now you'll be moving into zones, and that's what the dotted square you see in front of you is. So we're going to say that you're starting in that zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that
You
was
can
one supply
basically
used.
only go down, and this is where we get to the delve procedure. Before we move further, is everybody happy with their position on the delve? With Edris being the delver, Ozil being the scout, and so on. Rico the burrower, Osric
what's
the
my position?
archaeologist.
Yep, I'm happy
You're
being
the
the
archaeologist.
Question:
I'm happy, yeah.
Did somebody remove one supply for the first thing we did? 'Cause we've got to do that.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Max has done that,
Nice
yeah.
one. Well done.
Let me eliminate
Okay.
what I have because that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Okay. We can do. We'll just do one person at a time. We'll do yours first.
Do what?
When we get rid of one supply each.
When we
use
use the
supply.
supply, Max is going to utilize his first.
Drop his 1st.
Mhm.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, however you want to do it.
Just to save asking who's
Alright,
doing it
right.
every time.
I will just
Yeah.
ask what you think the area with the kind of cloud is. Is that something that was unresolved on the scan?
That's a good question. So basically, the way you read the depth scan is it gives you a rough estimate because you can see kind of like the square overlay that matches up with the squares that you have to travel through. So it should
Understood.
give you a rough estimate of how deep the delve is. Now, as far as the obscured areas, you would know from prior experience that those obscured areas indicate some presence of blight, which is interfering with the scan.
Okay.
So there is blight down there.
So
Now,
those,
as far as figuring out how much and where, that's where you use the bird.
okay, but the presence of blight presumably means the presence of a chamber or passage, because blight doesn't exist
Correct.
in solid rock.
Correct.
Yes.
Now,
Mhm.
not all of that area might be a chamber or passage. It could just be occlusion. For example, just to give you an idea, you're pretty certain that this path here is the only path,
It's that one.
and that
yeah.
the occlusion isn't hiding like a side chamber. It's just the occlusion of the whole area is being. But you can also fairly well guess that once you get closer to the bottom, in all these blighted areas, there probably are voids and chambers or passageways. But still, I mean, you just have a scan. You just kind of have to decide and start moving on your own. Now, you can, as you said, send the bird ahead to do a blight scan.
I suggest we do a blight scan first to see whether or not we're going to be passing through any areas with blight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds
So
good.
you send the bird ahead 4 zones,
Yep.
which would get it to about here.
Mm-hmm.
The bird returns. Again, this takes about a stretch, so that's another point of supply gone. And the bird communicates to you that, at least at that distance, there is no blight that it has detected. Now, what that means, so that we're very clear, is that the zone itself does not have a blight rating. That doesn't mean that you might not have an event that invokes some kind of blight. It just means that traveling through the zone inherently is not going to cause blight. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between a blight event and a blighted zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in that case, I suggest we travel forward 4 zones. What do you reckon?
Well,
Have you
traveling
not-
forward is
well-
where we get to the rest of the procedure.
we're going to have to get the
Have
climbing
you
gear
knocked
out.
off Max, have you knocked off a second
Mhm.
supply for the blight
have.
scan? Thank you.
I have.
Yep, you're down to 61. Okay, so now, delving process. The Delver, which is Edris, rolls for
Yep.
agility, modified by talents and equipment.
Okay.
No, this.
Do we do this for every zone, or is it just?
This
the
is
4
to see
zones?
how far you can go before an
So-
event
I've got
possibly
you.
happens.
So before you do anything, I would like to point out that this looks like we're climbing down vertically. I have climbing gear. If we move that to your sheet, you're going to get a +3 on this roll.
So, it's a good thought, and yes, normally you could do that. However,
No.
A, you have to give it to him
Yeah.
so that he can include it.
Mhm.
And B, in this case, in this section, it does look kind of like a vertical down, but there is a bit of stairway
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
that spirals around, so you don't actually need
So
to
there's no
use
need for
climbing
climbing
equipment
gear.
here.
Okay.
However, if you want to pass it over to Dave, if he has a space, then
I do. I
he
do.
can use it
It's going to be him
with the
making these.
understanding that gear can be damaged.
It's going to be him making these rolls, so you might as well use it. Yeah.
It is going to be him making the rolls for sure.
Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
I'll put it on the Rhino again, the mud crawler.
But
I had
would.
I had some climbing gear. I'm
Did
sure
you?
I've left.
You left-
I
you
left
left it in
mine
there.
on the.
Yeah,
I did.
Of
Yeah,
course
you
you
had the
did.
basic one. You had the basic
But I
one.
would-
This is a more advanced one.
I've
But I
got
would
the
guess
advanced one,
that we probably don't need to use it because, well, the Grey Wardens wouldn't be using it. would
Yeah,
they? This is
yeah, we'll leave
Well,
it
no,
for
but
crematorium.
for safety and precaution's sake, I mean, you could tie each other off. You could use carbiners to
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
because there is still a hole. You're just on a kind of a slim stairway going down.
Mm-hmm.
Should you think I should hand
Yeah.
my climbing kit over to Dave then?
Yeah, I'll be
Edris.
good.
Yeah, I think you should. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna move that over to the buggy.
Rhino.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pass it through the buggy. Yeah.
And you want to give me 4 supply?
Can do.
I
I'm
think
alright.
he's
I'm
got
not
the weight to
over-encumbered.
carry it.
Have
yeah,
you?
he's not
Yeah.
over
Oh,
encumbered.
okay.
I'm just shy of my limit.
Okay.
So
Okay, so make your roll with agility. Did you pick up the Delver talent yet?
no,
Okay, so then
That-
no talent, just
that was
That
next on my
gear.
list. Equipment.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh come on, man.
Okay. Do you want to push it? You
Yeah.
can. Okay, so the gear is damaged. You lost 1 hope. This is how it goes, right?
Yep.
But you did get a
absolutely.
success.
Yes.
So the delve progresses 1 marker. Oh, I'll let you guys move yourselves. Any of you can move it. You progress 1
Is it
marker
one-
down, so that's 1 square.
One
One
zone.
square,
Yep,
yeah.
Oh, that's
You
so
haven't
cool.
reached a
It
key
reveals the map
location.
when we move. Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
So cool.
Okay, so there is an event, a delve hazard. So, distance, exit distance.
Fog of
is
War design,
1.
Brian, is superb, by the way.
That's pretty cool,
Really
right?
nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Instead of it just being like a greyed out or black, that's decent.
That's wicked cool. Like,
So you don't have to try that now.
you are rolling privately,
Okay,
Brian. I
so-
don't know if you're meaning to.
Yeah, no, I know.
You are. Cool. Cool.
This I'm rolling in private because I'm going to narrate it. So,
Cool.
as you travel down the first marker, once you get to a certain point of the stair, who's this affecting? Oh, it's affecting the Delver, so it's Edris. Edris, as you're leading the team down, part of the stair begins to crumble,
Oh.
and you try to catch yourself. Now I'm going to give you, I'm going to let you use the climbing gear as a bonus, but this is specifically a strength roll.
Okay.
Different events affect different characters.
That's fine.
as
That's
you
fine.
go down.
I get
So
that.
it's
Rules.
random. Yeah.
So I can still use the climbing gear, yeah?
You can use the climbing gear. It's been damaged.
It's
but you
damaged
can
one.
use it
Yeah,
if you
it's-
want to.
bonus
it's
3
lost one
means
of its
it's-
bonus things.
Bonus
Uh,
means it can take 3 damage, so it's got another 2
Yep.
still.
Okay,
go.
success.
That's a good
There's
dice.
successes.
That's a good roll, Dave.
Go ahead and accept that.
Mhm.
I will let you know if you need multiple successes. So yeah, you managed to catch yourself using the climbing gear. You have all kind of roped together, and so you're doing pretty good there. That is that. There's no blight level, so you don't have to worry about that. So time for another delve roll.
Yeah, this Delvey suit's killing me.
And was that another unit of supplies used?
Supply.
I got you.
Sorry, yeah, there should have been a unit of supply to come into this.
So 3
Into
so
the
far.
zone.
I'll get 2 off.
You
Three-
should be at 60.
3 so far, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
So
50
moving
in there.
moving now again will be a fourth.
Oh,
Okay.
geez.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
So you can accept the fail. You don't have. Okay, you pushed it.
Oh, there you go.
I've lost
All right.
2 hope, but I'm good. Because
Okay.
I've got a talent while we're in a group that restores hope.
Now that time you got 2 successes.
Fucking up my
Yep.
gear again, though.
So that means you actually travel 2 markers.
I'll buy
So
you
go
some
down
more,
a
don't
marker.
worry.
That's
don't
1
worry
point
about
of
it.
supply. Go over a marker. That's 1 point of supply.
Ooh.
Okay.
More points of
And-
supply down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, total of 4. And now we're gonna do. Oh, hang on. I turned off the deep scan. My bad. Now we're gonna
like,
do
oh, where'd it go?
This is 4. Delve check is passed. Okay, so you don't have a guard.
Yeah, our guard's not
so
She's sleeping.
I'm gonna roll a d6. And high goes to the left, low goes to the right. Or left, right. No, just 1d6. Okay, so on the crew sheet. On the
Bless you.
crew
Bless you.
sheet. Thank you. Rico is to the right. So, Rico, you're going to have to deal with this. As you travel forward, you've kind of come to a kind of leveled out area. And as you are moving ahead, there is a strange. All of you can feel kind of like a crushing pressure suddenly,
No.
almost like you were in space or some kind of depth,
Okay.
and there's a pressure spike. Rico, you need to make a strength test.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Strength chest. Now I'm gonna see if any talents guy could use to help with that one.
What talents do you have?
Blade fighter, bodyguard, endurance, exo specialist, force, jerry rig, mechanic, miner, polearm.
Oh, use exo specialist.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Excellent. So you realize what's happening, and so you do what little you can with some of the settings on your suit to relieve some of the pressure as it increases, and that prevents what you're fairly certain probably would have been like a stress fracture in your faceplate.
Ooh.
So thankfully unaffected.
Nice.
Dave, another delve
Yo.
roll.
Okie dokie.
Leader.
I'll buy you some new climbing gear. So don't worry.
I think we should
I
have
mean, if
multiple.
it gets used up, it gets used up.
We should probably get multiple of these, to be fair. It wasn't expensive.
Yeah. Okay, success.
There you go.
So
Oh,
you
that'd
are
be-
able to travel forward 1 zone. That's another
Gotcha.
supply lost.
Supply, yeah.
This is fun.
This is the limit of what we've checked for blight so far. So shall
Yeah.
I ask
It
Ashes
is.
to do another blight scan?
Let's deal with the event first, and
Oh,
then you could do that if you like.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna hit Rico again.
Oh, great.
As you, yeah, well, that's what happens. As you're traveling through this kind of level zone, you've all kind of gotten used to it because you've lived in Ship City for quite some time. Ship City is not, it's not unstable, but it's not like you standing on planet Earth. It's a much significantly smaller rock in space. And so there are tremors and there are, quakes essentially.
Shifts
And you've gotten used to
stuff.
them. Yeah, it shifts, it moves. Unfortunately, in this kind of tunnel, though, and you've seen some scree and some rocks around, it's clear that sometimes there's falling rocks. And unfortunately, some rocks fall right on top of Rico. Rico, you're going to need to make a strength test.
You got this.
Come on, Hulk smash.
Yeah, I mean, strength is his best stat, yeah.
Exo specialist, he knows which parts of the suit are strongest, so he turns that
Exo
way.
specialist isn't going to work. I don't think you can add endurance, can you?
What about force? Is force maybe?
Oh yeah, force. Yeah, for sure.
Nice. I got a +2 on that one. Ooh.
Okay.
Got this. There you go. 2.
That's a success. Okay. So you manage to just kind of deal with your familiarity with being able to lift heavy objects and deal with kind of weight dropping. You're able to just kind of endure it, and so you're largely unaffected by it. Dave. Oh no,
Go.
hang on. Before you roll,
we want
Dave,
the bird. Yeah, we want to.
We need to
send
do another
Send the bird
light
ahead,
scan,
maybe not.
yeah.
And the bird uses the supply, right?
So again, keep in mind each time you take the time to do that kind of scan, it takes a while, so it's going to be another supply. But yeah, you can do it.
Do the thing.
Brian, whilst we do that, what's the crew maneuvers? How often can
Those
we
tend
use
to
them? Are
only
they
apply in combat.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
sweet.
David, what I would say is, I'm not even going to make you roll for this. You know that essentially run-of-the-mill wardens of the well have to come down here regularly to deal with the crematorium.
Yep.
You doubt that there's blight at the level, at least down to where the crematorium is, which is about right here.
Well, it's just that there was that occlusion of blight there that was causing concern.
And that's a fair concern, but I would say you're probably safe until you get a little bit deeper.
Okay, what's the level of the screen?
The screen is roughly about right here.
Okay, so that's the screen, and are these the chambers where they take the bodies off for the crematoria?
From what you saw on the maps, yeah, this is the crematorium.
Okay, so it's likely to be safe until we get down to that level.
Likely. I'm not going to say for sure, but likely.
Okay. Okay. Well, I suppose the question is, what's the route down the well here? Hopefully, it's staircase again, but we won't know till we get there.
That's true.
And again, it's a question of what the route is from that point, because if that goes underneath the screen to here, that wouldn't seem to connect with the crematoria. So that might seem to indicate.
What you can see of the scan, that seems like that's probably a pretty good understanding of it.
So to get to the crematoria, there's probably, from that point, there's probably a route down to there.
Yeah.
But we're looking to go through here and down to get round the screen. Okay? So I would talk with Ashes and say we want to look at going down this route rather than straight down the well. Okay? And given that if that's the case, this isn't an area that the Grey Wardens go. Well, let's check and see. Let's carry on forward and find out how we think the Grey Wardens get down. Because if we get to this point and we find that there's a walkway across to here and then staircase down to there,
Yeah.
then to that point it's safe. But we want to go down this route. So let's get at least to this area and then check. So two more exits forward.
Okay.
Let's try and
Dave,
see what's there.
make your agility roll.
With the 1 point left. Climbing gear.
Yeah, it doesn't last long, does it?
Well, you know, if I had to find tools, I probably could fix it.
There you go.
Hey, that's a
It's
success.
fine. It's fine. Don't you guys worry. I've got this.
So you can move ahead one
Move another.
zone. Now, once you get to the main well, as you expected, there is a stairwell that kind of winds down in a bit of a circular motion. I mean, not a bit of it. Definitely like corkscrews down the well.
Spirals down. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I need to make an event test. Actually, let's do that.
You don't have to. I mean, we'd be
Yeah,
happy.
so we
not
could
to.
just get a freebie if you want, like.
Getting what I'm doing here. Okay, so as you, this is actually really funny. As you reach that area, and you know the zone is large enough. I guess I assume you're going to start walking down the stairs.
Carefully. Holding on to stuff.
Holding hands.
So as you're holding on to stuff, because there is no railing, right? This is like Star Wars. There's no railing.
Okay.
Well, that's why I got a pickaxe.
And each
Oh,
of these
I'm like
squares,
this along the wall. Ooh.
as far as distance goes, each of these squares I think is essentially supposed to be like 10 meters. So I mean they're pretty
Oh, okay. Yeah.
pretty
wide.
long, right?
Mm.
They might even be more than that because it technically takes you a stretch, which is about 15 minutes to cross each zone. Now you are being careful and like using climbing gear and stuff, but so 10 meters might not be accurate. It might be closer to like 20 or 50 meters. So they're large. Anyway, as you start heading down the stairs, and because of the way events work, I am going to take a little bit of narrative control from you sometimes, but if you have things that you want to add to it, you certainly can. I think this is suitable, though. David, as you guys are heading down the stairs, you spot some interesting looking fungi
Woohoo.
that draws your attention.
Do I recognize them from my book?
Well, I think to do that, you'd probably have to interact with it, because it is a little dark down here.
Well, can you show
Why
me the line
don't
over
tell
here?
you
please?
what?
I can
Tell
shine
you
a light
what,
on
why
you.
don't
I
you
like-
make a logic? Why don't you make a logic test for me?
Oh, I'd love to.
And you have a book
You
on mushrooms
can-
for this, don't you?
Do you have a book or an item that helps you with fungi, or is that just a role?
I think in the botany book, doesn't he? Like
I
in the botany
do.
book?
I have
I
my
do.
recipe book.
Listen, I do.
Okay.
Dave, I've got a book that can help you with that. Anything to do
Yeah,
with
you
botany.
can't trade though. This is his event. He's dealing with it.
okay.
You can't trade on this one.
Well, my book tells me all about the recipes, but it doesn't actually tell me the fungi themselves. So let's just take a straight logic roll, shall we?
Okay.
Your best stat. You've got this. Or
No, you
not.
don't.
Ooh.
No, I don't.
So, I will tell you from the consequences straight up. Don't worry about pushing it. It's not the end of the world.
Maybe don't
Unless
eat
you
them,
want
though.
to. Okay.
No.
So as you
No, this
lean
is,
in,
This is a hobby. This isn't the real thing. It's just
Right.
a hobby.
as you lean in to take a closer look at the fungi, unfortunately, one of them bursts and spews out acidic spores in your face, and that start to kind of eat at your faceplate. You're going to suffer 1 point of damage, just
Oh.
one,
Very good.
Shit.
and that's back to Dave.
I hope you're all right.
I don't. I
hope you're
think
all
Yeah,
right.
it was
have duct
nothing.
tape.
It was
I
nothing.
got duct tape. Don't worry about it. Duct
I mean,
tape
unless he's
fixes
broken, there's
everything.
nothing we can do anyway, so...
Yeah.
This is true. This is
No,
very true.
no healing potions.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going. I will tell you, if this helps you feel better, although you do have to spend supply on the way out, you don't have to make continuous delving rolls. The delving rolls are
It's
just
only on the
mainly
way in.
to
Right.
gamify going down,
Yeah.
right?
I'm assuming because and you know your way out.
Another one.
Essentially,
You know
you're
your
going
way
back
out,
the way
exactly.
you came, and
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably
Okay,
little
so-
markers.
You head down to the next marker. Again, the staircase is definitely spiraling down, and you can see the turnoff in this particular marker to where, yes, although it continues to spiral down, you do have access to this side tunnel here. Before we do any questioning or investigation of that side tunnel to determine anything, let's do our delve hazard. We are now 6 from the exit. Ooh, guard again. Gotta roll a d6.
Probably me
Rico,
again.
Rico's just getting torn
I
up.
called it.
Rico's getting
I called
pummeled
it.
in
I
this
called
deal.
I called it.
So, as you head further down this particular part of the well, you feel the pressure starting to build again. And this time, you can feel it kind of surging up from below, some kind of pressure wave that is probably dissipating at this point, because nobody has ever made any reports of pressure waves occurring in the City of the Dead. But Rico, you're going to need to roll me another, and again, you can use Exo, a Strength plus Exo, to resist this pressure wave.
Okay.
You got it. Easy
Okay, and
peasy.
you succeed.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not scared. I'm accepting it.
All right, so now well, no, you still have to technically go down to the next area before you go. You still need to move into this
There's
one
a
before
tiny
you go
little
to
bit
this
of
one.
down
You don't,
Yeah, then we can
you don't go
there.
diagonally. You can just see it. But I think there were some questions you had once you got to this point, or some things you wanted to test.
Let's do a blight scan again.
At this
Osric
point, we were
mentioned
checking.
something, yeah.
Yeah, we were going to check to see whether or not the main route continues down inside the shaft. We think
It does.
Good.
Yeah, you can see the staircase continuing to spiral down past
Fine.
that side offshoot tunnel.
In that case, we need to do a blight scan down the side tunnel.
Okay.
So I will
Okay.
ask Ashes to do that.
All right.
Alright,
so
I
that's
will-
going to be
you
want
1,
me to
2,
make
3,
a bird
4.
roll?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess you do need to make the bird roll for this because it could fail. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Somebody needs to take off supply. We should be down a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 supply now.
So we had to, yeah, I took off one. Bless you.
Bless you. She should be down
Is
8
this
max.
on logic or it's insight for bird, isn't it?
Insight for the bird. Yeah.
Bum.
Does the bird candy help? Pull out some bird candy.
It can if he wants to spend it, but
Got a
one success is
success.
enough. So, the bird returns, and it reports to you that once it got to this marker, it started to detect minor levels of blight in the zone.
Very good.
Now, what
Okay.
that means is when you cross, or rather when you enter and deal with a zone or cross it, well, it's simpler than that. Let's say you cross 3 zones that are blighted. You then have to resist that blight with your blight protection on your armor, but you only resist the highest level of blight that you crossed. So if you crossed, say, the first marker had 1, let's say you moved 3, somehow Dave got 3 successes, and you move 3 markers before
In
an
a different
event.
universe.
Right. If the first marker was Blight 1, the second marker was Blight 2, and the third marker was Blight 1, you would have to resist Blight 2, because that's the highest level that you crossed. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to tell you the actual numbers, but the bird reports to you that yes, a minor level of Blight at this 4th marker that it reached.
Okay. So let us proceed.
Going down the offshoot?
Yeah, down the offshoot.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, it's your
I'm on it.
go.
I'm on it. Got to
I
run
mean,
out
it's not a
sometime,
1.
hasn't it?
That's not a
Not
1.
got any ones.
Oh,
2 ones
Yeah,
there.
we've got a
2
couple of
ones there, but you did succeed.
I've
So
got
you're
down
able
to
to
1.
move down.
Down to 1 hope.
Do you want to
Yeah.
switch up roles?
Yeah, can I turn
It's
to
an
someone and
agility
say,
roll.
does someone want to take over? It's agility.
It's agility.
I've got a 5 in agility. I can take over.
Oh,
Okay, well
There you
let's deal with the hazard first.
Yeah.
So you are now at. Oh, somebody needs to move you down into the next marker, because technically
that's
you have to move into that next one first. Yep.
And that's
so
another.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
and that's
7
another,
from the exit.
Another
the supply.
Another 1.
Okay.
Yet another supply. Rico.
Oh my
Okay,
god, everything
okay.
wants to fuck with me. Okay, bring it on, bitches. I have
Yeah.
my power slam. My power slam's gonna hit something. I'm like, come on, bitches. I know you're out there.
Oh, this is interesting. How am I going to deal with this? Because that's clearly not the case. Oh, no. Okay, I know how I can deal with it. Rico, as you guys are traveling, once you get to the point of being able to move into that side tunnel, right, which you had to move here to be able to move over there,
Yeah.
you're close enough now to realize that the entrance to the side tunnel is very narrow. So,
Oh.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to use your
The
pick,
bar.
which I assume you still have.
Yes, yes. And I have a minor effect.
And so you'll be able to use minor and pick and strength to make sure that you can open the way for your group.
Okay, so you add the minor, add equipment, pickaxe. Nice. And roll.
Okay, so yeah, no trouble.
Very nice.
If you had failed, it actually says impassable. The crew must turn back or use a breach charge,
Oh.
which
Ouch.
I don't think any of you have.
Nope.
Oh yeah,
No.
that's a big
No.
boom. That's a big boom. That's the. I don't think it's
That's a
super
big
expensive.
boom. Yeah.
That's a dynamite job.
Okay, so
Oh,
now you guys are wanting to change up. I don't see anything in the rules to indicate that you can't swap out
I was going to
stuff.
say, I've swapped out the Delver for Ozil, and I might have got the roles mixed up. David, was
What,
your
hey-
character the archaeologist?
Yes.
Yes, I'm the archaeologist. I'm
Okay, I've got it
definitely
right. Ozil's the
not
scout,
the Delver. Not with agility 3.
So
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's fine
do
where
you,
it is. I guess.
do you want to give him back the 1
climbing
point
gear.
of climbing gear that you have?
the one count. Hey, I got jerry rig. I can fix it.
It's-
Maybe.
You can.
I believe
please
fixing
bear
things
in-
takes an entire shift.
Please bear in mind that if we need to, Ashes can do a soul delve on someone to recover all their hope.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you remember that saved his butt twice. That's why we got that.
So what is it you've passed over that I need to take?
It's
Climbing
the
gear.
Climbing
advanced. Is the advanced one that has 2 dings on it.
Climbing gear, yeah.
Yeah, don't take the regular one because that's technically actually back at the place.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to swap the roles around on the crew sheet, don't we?
Yep.
I've done it.
He already did.
He already did.
Sweet.
So now that's on Ozil to make the agility test plus the climbing gear.
I
I'm
don't
assuming
have any.
Ozil doesn't
I
have the
assume
Delver
I don't have
talent,
any
so that's not
talents
gonna
for
help you
that.
there. No. The only talent that works for this is the specific like Delver talent.
Right.
That was the other one I was looking at.
Got 2 ones. I'm gonna have to push it though.
Give it back. Oh, there you go.
No.
Oh, no.
3 hope, but
Lost 3 hope and failed.
yeah. Okay. So, with a
I'm a useless
failure,
Delver, guys.
Del progresses 1 marker and 2 supply points are consumed.
So it takes twice as hard. It's twice as hard.
Takes twice as
Yep.
much supply.
So that's
yeah.
what happens. Okay.
Okay. And I'm
Okay.
down to 2. I'm down to 3 hope already. I'll start this with 6.
All right. So take 2. There you go.
Okay, so as you are traveling down, ooh, this is interesting. David,
Yes.
you're in this kind of angled tunnel, and your crew is walking downward, but suddenly your head starts to swim, and you start to have strange, otherworldly visions. You see a man walking where you are, but his suit is archaic, but at the same time looks almost better. And make an insight check for me.
Okay. Boom. I think this might be one of the first people to come here. Boom.
Like when you're in the Dunwich Borers and
My
Fallout, and you get the
archaeology
visions of the
kit
guys
won't
in the
be
past.
any good. This is nothing to do with glyphs, and it's nothing to do with builder runes. So, okay.
Yeah, you can use builder runes. I'll allow it. You're in a
Okay.
builder ruin.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And this is insight.
Insight. Okay.
I can I
up to
push
you.
it or not?
You can.
I will try. I will try to push it.
Oh dear.
Oof. Oh gosh.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Ugh.
Oh,
Had a
dear.
bad time on this.
So-
delve.
In addition to the loss of hope, you also become shaken. And the reason why you become shaken is as you are looking at this kind of figure that's almost like fading in and out, as he's literally like walking beside you, you can see, you can't make out the name, but you can see the patch on his suit says Nadir.
We don't see that, so I didn't make that noise, but
You didn't see
I
that,
did.
no.
I
And then
recognise that name for some
the
reason.
vision fades from view.
Very good.
Can
Oziel.
I see that he's visibly shaken?
Oh, I think you can all see he's visibly shaken by something.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't give you. I could give you some of my Sira, but you're in a delving suit, so you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Because it. Oh, would you like? This will calm you down. I swear to God, try this.
What?
Try this, and I'll hand over some Sira because it removes the shaken condition.
Stick it up your snoot.
Nice.
Oh well.
Nice.
Are
Try
you
it.
sure
I
it's
promise.
safe?
I promise. It helps me with my
There's an
nerves.
animal, sir. Would you like one?
Says the
Just-
says the chain smoker.
I know, yeah.
Right.
He's dishing
I-
out cigarettes like it's candy. Have some smokes.
So, just to be
Just a
clear,
But as I
Got up the
know,
nose.
okay, I will
You're
take
where-
the Sira.
you're wearing your delve suits in a delve mainly to protect you from the blight.
Yeah.
Although they also function as spacesuits, he can open his face plate for a
And-
short enough
yeah, okay.
amount of time to, yeah.
Cool.
Delve
Okay,
all,
because
as far as I know, unless they make one that isn't, I think all the delves happen in places with atmosphere. You're just mainly protecting
Okay.
yourself from blight.
I'll have
With
that,
regards
and
to
I-
the Sira
and I-
that I've given,
Yeah.
do I need to remove that because originally you said when you role playing it and just taking it,
If you're
But
role
this is
playing it
serving
and
a
just taking it,
purpose.
then yeah. But if he's
I'll
using it for
take
the
it off.
actual effect, you have to take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Well, while I got my faceplate open, I'm gonna have a quick cigarette to calm my nerves as well.
That'll be two.
Okay, that's fine.
That'll be 2,000
Can I-
buck. Osric.
Okay,
Smoke.
How much is that stuff?
I think it was about 400 something or
Yeah,
other.
drugs aren't cheap.
Let's
I
have a look.
Tell me
will
about it.
knock off 400.
Oh no, it was only 20. No, it was only 25. No, don't
Yeah,
worry
he was
about
joking
the
with you.
cost of it. Don't worry about the cost of it. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
I'll get-
man. I just realized it's 5 o'clock here, so we're obviously not
Yeah.
going to complete this delve today. But we'll.
I mean,
we'll
we
do a
still
few
went pretty
more.
far. That's actually pretty good.
You're almost halfway down, yeah. But
Almost
it's
halfway
not like
down.
we're playing a one shot. We don't have to rush it. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
got
yeah.
No
as
rush.
many sessions as we need.
So, am I no longer shaken then?
You are no longer shaken, correct?
Yeah.
Since you use Sierra Sarah.
Just almost out of hope.
Right.
Me too, mate. Me
Like
too.
Oliver,
You and me
need another
both.
agility test.
Right. Okay. Agility with climbing gear.
Yep. And again, you can fail. It just costs more supply. You did
Oh, there
succeed
you
this
go.
time.
See
though.
Yeah,
that
There
thing?
you go.
So travel
One
one,
more.
lose a supply.
One supply max.
Got it.
Ooh,
Shit.
whoop, whoop. This
Clear
one.
off your rotor. Yeah, this one.
Oh, can you go diagonal?
It's not
No,
diagonal.
you should be going down.
We were in that one.
We were
Yeah.
in that one. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so this is going to affect the scout, which is now Edris.
Everyone gets a roll.
Oh, interesting. So
Say that.
Edris, as
Sees that every
you,
time.
So- this part of your journey is a little bit more precarious. You were just on kind of an angled area. This is just a drop.
Straight up and down.
Now, what's interesting, well, tell you what, I will let everybody, this is separate from Edris's event, we'll get to that. I want everybody to give me a perception test.
Okay.
Okay. Does my investigator come into this?
Sure.
Let's see, do I have any talents?
What's that?
That's definitely
Can I-
success.
Can I use binoculars to help?
No.
Now, unfortunately, I have
I
nothing.
was just
I'm
about
still
to ask the same
distracted.
thing, Dave.
My eyesight has been sharpened by the Syrah Syrah.
True for me. I'm accepting that.
Okay.
I'm accepting that. I am not. I'm good
Oh,
with it.
well, yeah. I'll
So
accept that
everybody
as well.
passed, right? Yeah. So as you get set to descend here, because like I said, at this point there are no more stairs. You do see indications, holes in the stone, areas that have been worn and maybe have less dust on them. It's apparent that people have come down this way, and recently,
Oh.
by way of rope and python, the same way that you all are going to
Yeah.
Okay.
descend. That being said, as you are descending, and I'm assuming you have decent climbing gear, even without the advanced climbing gear, again, because you guys have supply.
Yeah.
So you're using like those cool hand things that you see in movies to make sure that you're not descending too quickly and so forth.
Yeah.
I am going to assume that the travel order is equivalent to what the party would be, right? So the Delver is first, followed by the Scout, followed by the Guard if you have one, and then the Burrower and the Archaeologist. So Oziel might not see this, but Osric and Rico can see that Edris seems to be having some troubles. He's still descending, but he looks out of it. Edris, you, as you're traveling down, suddenly see a man next to you.
What the fuck?
But it's all fuzzy. Like you're seeing him through like some kind of static. And it's very strange to you because imagine imagine seeing a person standing right next to you, or in this case, he's like climbing. He doesn't even have ropes, but he's descending. Imagine seeing somebody descending right next to you.
Do I let go? As in, like, do I panic and let go?
But he's staticky, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna need to make a logic test.
I got a 5, and I'm the strong one.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I can't push it either. Oh, I could, but I'd be broken then.
Oh no, are you gonna be broken?
Again.
Yes,
so
Max,
here's
again.
The problem. Here's the problem with that. I believe despair is hope damage.
Oh, so I'm gonna get. So it's gonna happen either way.
How much
Either
hope do
way.
you have left?
You might as well push it then.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh.
Broken.
Oh, no.
Broken.
Well, let me make sure that I'm not just making that up. But I'm fairly certain despair is hope damage.
That's what happens when you do all the rolls, though, isn't it? You know.
Right?
Fine.
That's what happens.
Well, hey, I did
Yeah,
as much
so-
rolls as you did.
Okay, so you tried. Either way, you're broken. So you're going to need to. You're gonna need to. Oh, I guess I'm gonna need to because I've got the tables. Make a mental trauma test for you.
Trembling and you are dazed.
Okay.
Is that the same
Okay.
thing as me?
That's an agility affliction.
Yeah, which is just awesome.
Which is one of my biggest stats.
Good job I took over Delvin then.
Oh,
eh?
it only lasts. You just need to rest. That's all. It's
One
you're
shift.
just dazed. That's all. It's not lethal. It's not anything awful. Could have been a lot worse. But you are at 0 hope, right? So
I am again.
Broken
we
again, eh?
Well, we have the soulful one. The soul king.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of you are suffering from hope right now.
Oh, I am, yeah.
No, I haven't lost anything.
So I will say though that even though you are broken, perhaps the
Yeah.
reason you're broken is because this is obviously very otherworldly and very difficult for you to comprehend. But before the static and the vision fades, you also see, you can't make out the nameplate, but you see like a shit patch that says Nadir on it before it fades completely.
Because we're
Now,
halfway
does
through
anybody-
climbing, I'm just panicking and having a bit of a tremble, but I'm not going to say anything just yet. I'm just like, oh, just
Okay.
get down.
Well, before you do anything, you're gonna need to be not broken, right?
Yes.
Because when you're broken,
Well,
there's
yeah,
not
okay.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
you can
Well,
do.
hey, since
Can't do
since
shit.
I'm
You can't
closer to
climb down
him-
if you're broken.
So, Brian, I got a question. Since I'm closer to him and Osric is above me, and I pat on Osric's foot and I point down, looking at him, and I think there's
Yeah.
something wrong with Edris. He might be having a problem again.
Yeah, he looks like he's gone limp. He's still on the ropes. He's still
He's
kind of
like-
hanging on.
Oh,
but
shit.
Kind of deal.
Would it help if we asked Ashes to do a soul delve on him? Do
probably.
you think?
Yeah, that's
I-
helped him whenever it broke. Is that he just needs to get his hope back and he's fine.
I will attempt to ask Ashes to do a soul delve on him.
All right.
Uh,
I guess it is important to note too, while you're traveling downwards, it's interesting. You've all seen it before, but just as players, Ashes can just hover.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Doesn't even need to flap its wings.
it just
Just, I mean, the wings are out.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a success. So I think that means he regains all of his hope, right?
Yes.
Yes. And it
And
takes one.
Ashes
injury.
loses a point of
Like a
energy.
Ashes loses a point of energy.
Okay.
Like a shot, electric shock through. Oh, fuck it up.
No, it just cock right and it's like, like, oh shit, what the hell?
Okay.
I'm at max hope now, so throw it at me.
Until you get, don't get broken again.
You want to take back over Delvin, do you?
Ironically, do you know what I've not done, Max?
What?
Is lost a point of health ever.
Yeah, but you mentioned what I had to fight.
Did you get hurt? You get hurt several times a session.
Yeah, yeah, but that's my job. That's my job. I'm
Okay,
right.
so
thank you guys for
Dave,
you guys.
I could give you the climbing kit
I will
back if
take
you want to
over.
take back over, yeah.
I will have
not while you're on ropes on a vertical shaft, you can't.
Shit, yeah.
Once we
good
get
point,
down
good
to
point,
the,
good point.
Yeah, as
to
soon
the
as you get a like
Oliver?
incline.
Yeah.
Go. Let's go.
Agility roll.
Yep.
Or you lift a
With the
cliffhanger.
climbing kit.
So this for the cliffhanger, is it?
That's almost broke.
Oh shit, yeah, this is definitely for the cliffhanger. But the almost fucked climbing kit, let's go boys.
Ooh,
That's a
Okay,
6.
you got one.
I'll
That
take
lets
it.
you go down one with one supply.
I'm taking it.
Got it.
That's 1 supply max.
got it.
I didn't mean
What
to
was that
press
roll?
push there. Is there any chance?
Oh, you got 2 successes though, but you lost the hope.
Any chance you give me my hope back? I didn't mean to press push there.
Yeah, take your hope back. I'm just gonna
Thank
delete
you.
that message. I can't change it to 1 success.
Yeah,
but
I didn't mean to do
we
that.
know. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
only
fine.
1 success.
We
Aim
know.
in the project accept.
Okay, so you will kind of reach another angled passage here, so if you want to take a chance to like move things around. However, and I think we will finish it here today and continue with our delve into the deeper regions next time. Since you're stopping in this marker, as they call it, it's called markers, not zones. This marker does have a blight rating. So I need
Ooh.
all of you to make a blight protection roll for me.
I'm glad I'm wearing my armor. That is super.
Well,
Blight
all of you should
protection
be.
roll. So how do we roll that?
Yeah, but my blight protection on mine
Should be on your armor.
In combat.
Yeah,
it should be. It should be automation. If you go to that one, it says
Oh,
the
automations,
roll
yeah.
armor blight protection suit.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
roll. It's in under automation. Roll armor's
Yes, you're
blight
fine.
protection.
Thank you, Max.
Let's
No
do it one at a
problem.
time. So, Oliver, go ahead. You roll first.
Okay. Come on.
Sweet.
Okay.
Nice.
Max, go ahead and roll.
Unlucky.
Nope.
You're in your exosuit? Why are you
Yeah,
not in your delving suit? Exosuits have shit blight protection.
You should have your delving suit on, mate.
Too late
My
now.
bad.
So the exosuit's like more for lifted things and all that sort of thing, I take it. And
they
the blight
generally have
suit
better
is like-
armor, but they
Yeah.
don't have not as good blight protection. Dave, go ahead and roll.
yeah.
Okay. And David, roll for your blight protection. Okay. So Max, you are going to lose a point of heart as the blight of this zone floods in through your suit.
Okay.
Now, you're not changed by it yet. It is something you can recover from. It just does heart damage currently. But yeah, it's not great. Okay, and I think that's a good place to stop for today, since we just entered a blight zone. You can assume that the rest of the delve is going to be blighted.
I want to go further, but I know we need to stop at
if
some
you guys
point.
want, I can go for another. It's up to you guys.
Well, we
You
still
wanna
have to
go
do
midnight your
XP.
time or not?
Still have to do XP, remember? So it's up to you. I
Yeah,
don't
we do.
mind.
Yeah.
Well, we do have to do XP. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's call it there for today.
Cool.
That way we won't have to
Exciting.
really break off.
Love
That's a
it.
decent enough cliffhanger. You're in the
Absolutely.
blight zone now.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you don't have an ability to spend any XP in the middle of a delve, but yeah, we can give you your XP.
I've only got 3 currently, so it'll be good to get some.
Yeah, you'll get some.
Well, if we make it back to the surface, I know what I'm getting next.
Oh, do you?
I do, yes.
What,
Definitely.
I would
the
be
heart?
surprised if I can't guess.
The
Right.
Delver
No, he already
Palace.
did that.
The Delver talent.
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
And
I
you
might
might
take
think-
it as well as soon as I'm the backup Delver.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
And you might think about switching to a light delving suit, which doesn't have agility penalties.
That's the other thing. And you know what? I was thinking this before we came down here. I
think
was
he
like,
grabbed mine.
I need to
He grabbed
swap.
mine.
I need to swap.
No,
I think
when we
no,
started,
I've had this
he
on all the time,
initially,
yeah.
had a medium, yeah.
I've got a light
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
I rolled less
Okay,
dice
yeah,
for my
Oliver has
blight.
light.
I only rolled 3 dice for blight protection though, whereas you guys rolled 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also aren't penalized on the delving roll
On
for
agility, yeah.
right? So
I get the minus 2.
it's -2, yeah, for a medium
Yeah.
suit. Okay, so experience. Did you participate in the session? You all did, of course. Did you roleplay your quirk? Everybody did, I think.
I did.
I know. David, did you tapping thing?
I just
Max,
figured-
Did you explore an
superstitious?
unknown location?
Yeah.
You're doing it now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you that bonus next time because you don't get to double dip, but you're
No,
doing it now,
no.
so yes. Did you investigate a mystery? Ongoing? Sure, I'll give you that. Did you
Sweet.
instigate and partake in intrigue?
David
David
did.
did.
David
So
definitely
David
did.
David has a bonus one. Did you help another explorer?
David did.
Yeah, he helped me.
Yeah,
Yes,
me.
Oh,
did.
yeah, he
also
did. He helped
me.
you heal. So David's
also
2
helped
up.
me.
Not with
over
the
the
blight,
base
with the
4.
hope. Yeah.
Yep.
I helped him as
Uh,
well.
you-
Because there was Sarah.
I took over
Okay,
Delving.
you did.
I took over
You did.
Delving when Edris became broken, so I helped
You,
Edris.
yeah, okay. I mean, that benefits the whole party, but sure, we can call that helping.
5 for me. Also, I gave him climbing gear because he's a dumb and never fucking brought any of his own.
This is base
So all
4.
in there. Because I kept saying you can use.
Did
can
you
use
overcome a
supplies.
difficult challenge? Not yet. I will consider the delve complete to be a difficult challenge, but you're still in the middle of it.
Isn't the identifying the access route a difficult challenge?
No.
It needed
'Cause that's
4
just
hope.
research.
It needed 4.
Well, yeah, but that
Keep
just
pushing,
made
David.
things
Go on,
easier
keep
for
pushing.
you. It wasn't a difficult challenge.
Fair enough.
Did you interact with your affiliated faction through your contact or
I did.
background? Again,
Max did
David
and David did.
Max
Max did.
did, so that's another bonus for
I've
you.
still
too.
never
so we've
used
got
mine.
4 base, 5 for Oliver. Max, I think, is at
5.
6. Oh, you're at 5. Okay,
Max
5.
said 5.
David's at
David
8?
said
7.
7.
7.
Yep.
Mhm.
And Dave is at
5
6.
for me.
5.
Five.
Okay.
5.
5's all round.
Oh.
David 7.
Then we had to
Okay,
do
so-
the other thing.
Crew
yeah,
points.
crew points. Somebody
points,
open up the
yep.
crew sheet.
So let me just add 5 for my own first, and then I'll open up the crew sheet. Crew sheet. We have 8 currently.
Right. Did the crew take on a challenge together? You're doing it, so I'll give it to you. Did the crew undertake a delve, trek, or great ship voyage? You're doing it, so I'll give it to you. Did the crew find a new builder glyph or new artifact? No, not yet. Did the crew give or get promised a favor for a faction?
Yes.
A favor. Yes. I
Yes,
think you
we did.
We
got
got
that
Master
from.
Muska.
Yeah.
We got a favour from
Muska's
the.
promised.
We also
she
got a
promised
favour
us
from the
I,
Coriolis.
I was thinking from first servant Nima.
Aye, we're,
Yeah.
we're,
yes,
we're allowed
yeah,
to go in the
and-
inner,
yeah.
inner sanctum unsupervised now. That's a favour from a faction, isn't
No,
it?
yeah, no artifacts turned in. Aid from the bird in dire circumstances.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Yerp.
this old.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was broken.
So you got 4
4 crew
crew
points.
points. You guys better spend some of
Superb.
those at some point.
I know we're stacking them right up.
Yeah.
We've not spent any of them
Up to
yet.
12 now, boys.
Well, the bird, I mean, it costs the bird 1 energy to do that soul delve.
Yeah.
And it can do it, I think, for each of you once per day.
Does the crew
right,
points
David?
help ashes or is it
Crew
individual
points.
points?
Crew points
I'm
can
not
be
sure
spent on
whether
the
it's
bird.
once
Crew
per
points can be
person.
spent on the bird.
So that wouldn't be a bad place to dump some of them.
Specifically, it's only once per day per person.
Oh, it's just it
Just
costs
however
1
much
energy.
power it's got, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Energy. I guess
It
mean,
doesn't
yeah,
actually
it's
say how much energy it costs, but there's There's just one talent where it says it doesn't cost any energy, which is the blight.
Yeah, the assumption generally is
Is it
it
one
only
each?
costs one, unless you can spend more energy to add more dice. So if you really want to be successful, you could add more dice. Up to 3, I believe. But yeah, the base cost is always going to be 1 for the various bird abilities. Okay. So yeah, that's it. We will continue next session with the delve and probably at least get to the bottom and see what's going on.
Awesome.
Is that the 9th of June? 2 weeks from today?
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll sort that out after anyway. Let me do an outro for YouTube and then we can say goodnight
Sure.
to Twitch. Thank you very much for another fantastic session, Brian. Boys, we are doing the first delve. Here we go. Thank you, Dave and David and Max, for playing with me. Thank you to everyone who will be catching this on YouTube in about a week's time. Thank you very much for watching. The series continues to be popular and we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. We are RxOliver and the gang. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.